Hold 'em up like we came for the ransom. I'm in the field, 2-minute drill, highlight reel. Let's review, what's the deal, okay? Watching footage going out of control. Buckle up, we got an hour to go, so let's go, that's straight heat. Ain't no chillin' around here, back to back, Nat Chance, how we feelin' around here? Got my whole squad in the building around here. If my name ain't on it, then I really don't care, come on. 3-point stance, we advance, ball in my hands, I don't take no chance. Touchdown dance, that's my jam. No hot takes, this is nothing but rant. Nothing but rant. Nothing but rant. Nothing but rant. On the beat, hey. Yeah.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Thursday evening. We got an extra special show for you guys tonight. I'm feeling extra blessed. I don't know about you. You feeling a little extra blessed today?
Yeah, man.
I'm feeling a little extra blessed. I'm sure Jonathan sitting at home today is feeling a little extra blessed. Extra blessed to be here with you guys tonight for what is set to be our last show of the week and certainly our best show of the week. Got a banger for you guys tonight. Believe it or not, we have even more Brendan Sorsby stuff to talk about tonight with an unexpected turn that we should have seen coming, Kirby. I mean, we sat here Tuesday night making jokes about how this story was going to give us another one, and we couldn't figure out what it was going to be. There was a layup there, and the layup arrived today on our timelines. Schedules you want and schedules you don't tonight. Excited for that segment. I think what it's ultimately going to roll into is us coming to the conclusion that is our title tonight. College football schedules are a flat-out joke. And I think we know this. We've known this for a little while since conference expansion has come about. But, man, is it ever more of a joke than now? Now more so than ever, I should say. We're going to feel sorry for some programs today.
Yeah,
Kirby.
we are.
We're going to feel sorry for some programs. Maybe rage bait some people in the chat tonight.
Or
we're just feeling sorry for them.
I don't
know if you want to be on this list is what I'm getting at.
No, yeah, for sure.
When we tweet out this graphic, I think there's going to be some people upset that they're even on the list. You know what I mean?
I would say it's not rage baiting. I think this is a genuine takes we would give for this list.
And there are multiple programs in this list that feel sorry for themselves. They're like, yeah, we do feel sorry to be a fan of our own team right about now. But we got some teams that we're going to feel sorry for tonight. Maybe a recruiting check-in might get to it tonight.
Possibly.
Don't plan on it. Maybe we might get there tonight. Welcome in. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and telling a friend if you haven't already. If you haven't told a friend about this place, come on, go holler at them. Let them know. Send them on over here. Send them in the chat. Let them fire off. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button as I mentioned as well. Kirby, how do we not guess it?
I don't know.
I mean, we sat here Tuesday night and talked about all the twists and turns and unexpected developments this Brendan Sorsby story has given us. And we thought, hey, declaring for the supplemental draft, that's probably the end of this one. Maybe we don't have to talk about him no more because he's going to that Sunday league. And then his damn agent arrived out of nowhere. The agent's the one we haven't heard from at all. And everybody's talked except for Brendan Sorsby. I mean, Cody Campbell's ran his mouth. Texas Tech's ran his mouth. Joey McGuire stuck his foot in his mouth. Everybody has stuck their foot in their mouth around this situation except for Brendan Sorsby and Brendan Sorsby's agent. And we had Brendan Sorsby's agent come out and talk yesterday. He stuck his foot in it.
Oh, man, he did.
He stuck his foot in it. For those of you who don't know, Brendan Sorsby's agent was on a radio station yesterday and essentially alluded to the fact that he was asked basically like, who do you feel bad for in this situation? And he talked about how he feels most bad for Texas Tech because if anybody should be getting heat, it's Cincinnati because they knew about it for 2 years. And now the internet's gone ablaze again.
And I mean, I get the idea is to like Sure, that's probably factual. I'm sure that Cincinnati probably does not have their hands clean in this situation. Why are we doing that on the way out? Like, this is kind of you know what? Fine, we're not going to play college football this year. It's fine. We've lost this. By the way, Cincinnati knew this whole time, and then you just leave.
Yeah, I think the best code of operations here would be silence for everybody. Just the only thing to come out of Brendan Sorsby the next 6 weeks should be highlights of his pro day. That should be the only headline. But nope, we got to keep going out here. And look, the agent said some really good stuff. Now, I don't know how much of this stuff is just agent talking, but the agent said some really good stuff before throwing Cincinnati under the bus. You want to know what some of the good stuff was?
What's that?
Brendan Sorsby, 6'4", 235 pounds, and runs 4.3.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was 5'4" in high school.
Dang, dude. He's short.
He goes to church every Sunday.
Must be Catholic.
Goes to church every Sunday. 6'4", 235, runs a 4.3. All 32 NFL football teams will be at his pro day. Those are the good things. Bad things. He was doing this for 2 years at Cincinnati. I don't know why we felt the need to bring up the fact that we were doing this for 2 straight solid years either. I probably wouldn't bring up, if I were his agent, if I were anybody, close to Brendan Sorsby, in Brendan Sorsby's camp, the last thing I would be talking about is what he did.
Yeah,
the only thing I would be talking about is what we're doing. You know what I mean? We would have sounded like a politician avoiding the dirty questions every turn. And the video that you see of this, I watched most of it. I went through the Twitter timeline of the radio show that he was on, and they're tweeting out videos of like Sorsby on the bottom and the actual radio talent at the top listening to the agent, and you can just see them every single time the agent says something. Just they're, oh my God, they're like, we got him. He's saying something. He's actually giving us the soundbite. He's giving us the click. Like, we're about to go dumb viral. And good for that radio station. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for that radio station.
104.3. Let me go actually get the radio station. Go ahead.
This situation has just continuously gotten worse for Brendan Sorsby. Like, what was the angle you're trying to take as the lawyer here, pointing out that this has been going on for years and years, and Cincinnati knew about it? If Texas Tech wanted to point this out, if Cody Campbell wanted to say, by the way, Brendan Sorsby's been doing this.
If some burner on Twitter wants to do this, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, why is it that your own camp is revealing that this has been going on for a long time and that the team at first knew about it?
Well, I would argue that, look, and I don't know if he's had the same agent the entire time, but he hasn't had good representation this entire time. Most people don't know this, but he's actually being sued by Cincinnati as Brendan Sorsby right now for the rest of his NIL money, because whoever was repping him didn't do a good enough job reading the buyout clauses, didn't do a good enough job understanding that if he up and left Cincinnati, that he would turn around and owe them money. So now what's he doing? He's turned around suing Cincinnati to not have to pay them that money. If you just had an agent that read your contract well enough, we might have avoided that lawsuit. He's also, honestly, probably, if we were going to get into a quarterback draft, we probably should have been in the 26th draft. That one's a really, really light class. 27 class is supposed to be heavy. You know what I mean? We don't. Yeah. I'm just saying, we don't have great representation throughout this entire catastrophe.
No, I mean, it's been.
By the way, it's 105.3 The Fan out there in Dallas-Fort Worth. What's the radio station?
Shout out to 105.3 The Fan. But you're right. This is, it's a PR nightmare for one, outside of the fact that you were gambling on the sport. Like, that at this point is almost not the most laughable thing that's taken place in this situation, to where, why? I still can't wrap my head around why your representation is coming out and saying anything on this right now, other than we are looking forward to moving forward within our careers. Brendan is taking the steps that are necessary to yada, 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 road to recovery, all these things. Why we're sending shots and burning bridges with Cincinnati now makes no sense to me. I guess maybe because you're worried about that lawsuit with them.
Yeah. But I don't know. The way he said it and the quotes made it sound as if the agent had been aware of all the issues the entire time and never once intervened himself either. And that, it's kind of damning if that is the case. Speaking of damning, did you see the tweet from Ross Dellinger yesterday about the Brendan Sorsby basically removed the voluntary motion for his temporary injunction against the NCAA?
Yeah.
And when you do so, you have to give reasons why you're
correct,
not suing anymore. And Tom Mars had a great tweet about this. So Tom Mars, obviously a very well-known lawyer, was kind of involved in this situation, but more involved with other eligibility cases that are very noteworthy in college football. Says Sorsby's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, quote, on June 15th, 2026, the plaintiff was informed by Texas Tech that notwithstanding the temporary injunction order, the university would not permit the plaintiff to play for its football team. Cody Campbell also simultaneously went on a YouTube channel and said something along the lines of Sorsby had a choice, either stay in college or try to go to the NFL supplementary draft. And there was some ambiguity as to whether or not he was actually going to be able to play, so he chose to go to the supplemental draft. The only problem with that is that it's in a court document that Texas Tech notified him that they were not going to play him this year, which I think is funny. I think it's really, really funny because this whole entire time, Texas Tech's been going to war in battlefields that they knew they were going to win. And then the moment the opposition had any type of strength, extreme strength in the form of Sidley Austin, what did they do? They gave Brendan Sorsby his $5 million and sent his ass packing and said, get up out of our place. We don't need you around here. We're not going to play you because we're not going to be allowed to play you. I thought it was very interesting to me that we went all big puffy chest all throughout this entire story. And then the moment, oh, by the way, all because we would do this for any student at Texas Tech. We believe in this. We would do this for any student at all. Oh, wait, we're not going to be able to do this? Get up out of here. Now, I'm sure he'll still be able to get all of his treatment. I'm sure he'll still be able to get all of his treatment out there in Lubbock.
Yeah, and I mean, that should have been the angle Texas Tech. And again, there's so many things where you can look back and go, well, they should have done this instead of it. The idea that you're going to try to convince the world that Brendan Sorsby is playing college football this season because it will benefit Brendan Sorsby and only Brendan Sorsby, and we, Texas Tech, are trying to do the right thing by him, was such a far-fetched notion anyways.
Yeah.
Now that it's in legal writing and there's actual evidence that Texas Tech was kind of like, all right, you can't play for us, so we're going to kind of, shoo you away. It basically confirms all the things that we've been making jokes about the last, 2 weeks now since this has happened, where basically Texas Tech was trying to hide behind the guise of we're helping Brendan Sorsby, we're doing the right thing, when in reality, all they wanted was to win football games and have a chance at winning a national title.
Kirby, they were almost like a flasher because they would expose themselves in all kinds of different ways, right? Like they exposed the idea that they didn't have intentions to play him. This was all just about saving him, when they preemptively had the Attorney General threaten to sue the Big 12 for not allowing them to play him. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember that part, right? Like, so we talked about this Tuesday night. The intentionality of this was thrown out of the window. We knew what the intentions were. Your intentions were to get this temporary injunction and to play him. And then when Sidley Austin came about and the Big 12's court case looked like it was about to steamroll you, you tucked tail and gave him his $5 million and let him go. So, yeah. I thought that was all very, very interesting. Like multiple times we did the flashing example where we're just exposing the fact that our house is built out of paper cards. Like when Cody Campbell said that, hey, if they sue us and don't allow us to play him, they're violating antitrust lawsuits. Hey, by the way, y'all make sure y'all vote for my bill on Senate floor that's asking for an antitrust lawsuit exemption. Exposure, left and right, all day long during this story.
Yeah, I mean,
the only ones who didn't expose themselves, I felt like, were Texas Tech fans because they showed out to be true fanaticals. And that's what we expect all college football fan bases.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Texas
Tech. Go to war. The fan bases, I'm cool with y'all. We're all irrational. I mean, hell, fan is short for fanatic. That means a crazy person. So, yeah, y'all supposed to be crazy. Some of y'all look crazier than I expected, but y'all crazy. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
good on y'all.
I don't harbor any ill will or judgment towards Texas Tech fans during this entire thing because the reality is it could have just as easily been Alabama fans or Notre Dame fans or Georgia fans doing the same exact thing. Like, it's a situation that fan base did not necessarily ask for. I don't think anyone expected them to come down with all the Brendan Sorsby gambling drama that they had. So, yeah, they're going to react how they would. Like, and to their credit, there were also some Texas Tech fans that were stepping out and saying, like, hey, we don't think you should play. We think this is wrong. But, yeah, no, if it's going to benefit your team, you're going to lobby for it. So we're cool Texas Tech fans.
Yeah, no, I honestly thought when it first happened that they were some of the funniest people on social media that I'd seen. And then they became some of the most fanatical people on social media I'd seen because they felt like they got backed into a corner by all 135 other Division I football schools. So makes sense. I understand the fandom's reaction, which I guess to an extent makes me understand Cody Campbell's reaction. But you can't act like that and be that fanatical while also lobbying our Congress and our Senate. I don't think those two coincide. I don't think that's what's supposed to be going down.
No offense to Texas Tech fans. Cody Campbell is a major person of influence in the university space. Like, you can be a fan, but when you're a person of influence who actually has ways to change the sport and is trying to get legal things done, you can't come out here and be a fan necessarily.
Yeah, I also don't think Jerry Jones is the owner of the Cowboys. I don't think people would connote him a fan of the Cowboys. He's the owner of the Cowboys. I look at Cody Campbell as the owner of Texas Tech Athletics.
That's fair.
I don't look at him as a fan. I look at him as the owner and CEO, and who the buck stops with and who the answers stop with is Cody Campbell. And again, that exposure was made Tuesday night when he put out a 3.5-page statement, and the school 30 minutes later put out a 1-page statement in which they told you to go read Cody Campbell's statement for their true feelings on the situation. You can't make it up. I don't know if there is another – I would be like at least down in Texas, there's like 5 families that are this powerful, and they just kind of lobby each other to see who's the most powerful. And it's competitive in their energy towards the school. No, I don't know of a single other booster. I mean, T. Boone Pickens is dead at Oklahoma State. This is the last one where the buck stopped there. Like, there's myths about Yellowwood out there at Auburn, but he ain't all that involved. Right. He ain't out calling shots like this guy. So, yeah. Hopefully he maybe if you're a Texas Tech fan, maybe you hope he learns a lesson from this. It probably takes a step back, but I doubt that happens. Do you?
No, probably not.
I don't see that happening. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. You want to do the schedules I want, schedules I don't?
Let's do it.
Segment. I like this. So I was texting Kirby about this today. Just the vast differences in schedules that we have. Like, we didn't even got this make about like, oh, look at Penn State's schedule versus Texas's, the SEC, yada, yada. We ain't even got to make about that. There's discrepancies within each conferences or within each conference because simply enough, these conferences have gotten too big. There's no more divisions anymore. It's randomized. So we throw 16 names in a hat. You pull out 9. Your 9 of 16 looks a whole lot easier or harder than their 9 of 16. Why is that? The conferences are too damn big. So we made a segment out of it. Schedules I want, schedules I don't. Here's a schedule that I want if I'm in the SEC. I want Alabama's schedule. I want this schedule. Alabama plays Georgia, Texas A&M, and LSU this year, and they get 2 of those 3 at home. The rest of the conference slate is a bunch of Missouri, Vanderbilt, and yada yadas. Okay, it's a bunch of what we expect to be mediocre to bottom end of this conference this year. I think it's as easy of a schedule in this league as you're going to get with this 9 conference game schedule nowadays. And you know, when you had the non-con scheduled against Florida State 10 years ago, or whenever they made that, that looked like it was going to be a shoo-in for a tough out-of-conference game. Yeah. And last year, they beat them. This year, I don't think we go into that thinking that's a quality out-of-conference game compared to some of these that we're going to talk about tonight. I want that SEC schedule if I'm in this conference. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more favorable SEC schedules for Alabama. That said, I don't think it's a cakewalk of a schedule. It's definitely easier than most, though. In comparison to Oklahoma's, who is also in the SEC, obviously, I want Alabama's schedule. They play Georgia, Texas A&M, at LSU. I don't want Oklahoma's. Oklahoma plays at Georgia, Texas, at Florida, Ole Miss, A&M. Oh, and by the way, they got to go to the Big House. They play Michigan on the road this year. Yeah, so it's week 2. Again, we're going to really look at one in the Big Ten. There's a vast difference between, wait a minute, they got to play what? Mm-hmm. And then you look at the other one, they go, oh, whoa, that's a breeze. I would take Georgia, A&M at LSU as opposed to Georgia, Texas, at Florida, Ole Miss, A&M. I mean, that is a gauntlet that Oklahoma has to go through in this SEC. And by the way, they've done it 2 years in a row. Last year's wasn't no cakewalk neither. No, it was not, yeah. I mean, Oklahoma certainly has a tougher draw as far as conference schedules go. And in having an out-of-conference schedule against a Power 4 team that's going to be ranked in the top 25 always makes your schedule harder. So I certainly agree with that. Who you got?
I want Penn State's schedule.
Yeah.
We've talked about how easy Penn State's schedule is. The fact that you didn't pull Indiana, Ohio State, or Oregon on a regular season schedule, like that's the three teams that are kind of known as the really good Big Ten teams. Here's a couple of stats for you, though. The first 5 opponents of the season for Penn State had a combined record of 29-32 last year.
3 games under 500?
Yes.
All right, I want everybody to remember that stat, and that's atrocious. That's awful. First 6 games, teams under 500 by 3 games. I got one later. Their entire season slate, all of their opponents last year, 13 games under 500.
Here's another one for you. In the first 6 weeks of their schedule, so basically the entire front half, they leave the state of Pennsylvania once. That's it. That is it.
The first 11 weeks, how many?
First 6 games of the season.
First 6 games, they leave the state once.
Correct.
That's
so,
nice.
I mean, it's about as easy as a Big Ten schedule can get. It's why Penn State and Ohio State have the same exact win totals. And frankly, it's why I don't want Ohio State's schedule. Road games at Texas and Indiana, not easy at all. By the way, after they play Maryland on October 10th, they don't return to Columbus until November 7th when they play Dan Lanning's crazy ass.
So a month away from home. Do they get
Yes.
a bye week?
They have a bye week
Okay.
in there, yes. But
so they'll
they're
be home before Oregon?
Yes.
Okay.
But they're not playing at home.
No.
It's still 3 weeks on the road. It's still 3 weeks of not being in front of any of your – like, it is a grueling Big Ten schedule, combined with the fact that obviously we talked about you're playing at Texas week 2. Like, that is as tough of a pool as we get. We saw basically, I mean, if you want to ask Steve Sarkisian, that game's the reason why they're not a playoff team last year. So it's a monumental matchup combined with the fact that you have a bunch of tough.
So we've crapped on the SEC. We've crapped on the Big Ten for this schedule disparity that we have going on in the sport. Let's crap on the ACC as well. Lord knows what happened with their conference championship game last year because of all this nonsense they got on in their schedules. By the way, this is a conference that I think has like 80% of its teams playing 9-game conference schedules and the other percentage playing 8-game conference schedules. Is that correct? Don't they have some funky thing going on where you get some schools that play 9 conference games and some schools play 8?
Yeah, because I believe that when they joined in, they had non-con games scheduled already with teams that ended up joining the conference.
So they kept them on the schedule but didn't count them as conference games?
Correct. Because they were
idiotic is what's going on out there at the ACC. Speaking of idiocy, now I think this is such a large gap because of how good Miami is. But Miami's schedule, apart from the Notre Dame game, is kind of a joke. Now, I don't mean to demean Miami fans. You're so good that you're going to be favored by like 17 points in every single one of your games, apart from that Notre Dame game. Now, that's you guys. North Carolina is in some deep shit this year. I'm talking about some doo-doo. At Clemson, at Pitt, at Duke, Miami, Louisville, at Virginia, NC State, non-cons against TCU, Notre Dame. And by the way, that at UConn game, that ain't no layover. Like, y'all ain't just going to go up there and roll over the Huskies, big dog. Like, ask who did get last year? Oh, that's right. The ACC champs. That's who UConn got last year. They got Duke in November and beat them. Watch out. North Carolina's got a brutal schedule as compared to Miami's schedule. And again, I think a lot of that's because it's Miami, but Miami's got a lot of Stanford, Boston College. Like, they got a lot of the bad of the ACC on their slate this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in fairness to the ACC, some of these schedules are going to be fairly easy. There's just not a lot of rigorous teams to face in this conference, unfortunately. But
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, if Georgia had North Carolina's schedule, I don't think people would be freaking out saying it's really, really hard. I think they'd look at it and go, okay. I mean, I got Georgia favored by 17 or 10 points over Clemson, you know? Mm-hmm. That's probably how they would look at it. But it is a tough gauntlet for North Carolina, which, by the way, looking at that, I don't know if Bill Belichick sees year 3.
No, I don't think so either.
If we 3-9 that, if we 4-8 that, say you.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the reason why I think people are so low on that program this year. But
yeah.
Certainly. A schedule I want, and this is kind of the slam dunk home run of the entire one, I want Notre Dame's schedule, man.
Yeah.
We've gone through all that. They have only 4 road games. Mm-hmm. That's it, just 4. Of those 4 road games, the opponents had a combined win total of, you ready for this, 20-28. That's including 11-1 BYU. So if you take 11-1 BYU, they went 9-27 last season.
Yeah, so their road games are like Purdue, UNC, and who else?
It's not good. I don't have the schedule right in front of me.
I think we talked about it pre-show. I think they're going to – outside of the BYU game, they're going to play in front of a combined 70,000 fans all season on the road.
They do not have a tough schedule whatsoever. And by the way, they play they play Navy on October 10th. So from October 10th to November 21st, they have one true road game that's at BYU. That's
6 weeks, they have one true road game.
Correct.
There's a neutral in there somewhere?
There's a neutral site in there.
Yeah.
It's the neutral site against Navy.
Where's it at?
I don't remember where the neutral site is.
Isn't that at Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's a neutral site. You will not be in a road environment there.
Yeah.
So one true road game. Combine that with the fact that here's another one. They have 6 home games this year. Right? It's pretty normal. Of those 6 home games, half of them are night kickoffs, including the one against Miami.
Well, that'll happen when you have your own TV network.
I get that, but it's still it makes it that much easier for you as opposed to you get to play your team under the lights when your fan base is going to be the most hectic, when you're going to have a tougher environment as opposed to noon.
Yeah.
It's an easy schedule. On the flip side of that, now this is there's no compare and contrast here. I don't want Arkansas' schedule. That is it's been ranked by many on strength of schedule metrics as one of the hardest. And we've made jokes about this. Starting off week 2 with a night game in Utah, a 10 p.m. kick, and then playing Georgia at noon the following week, that's not easy.
No.
That's not anything you want to ask for. Even if you played Georgia at 7, that's tough. But
Utah got bad elevation too, don't they?
Yeah, that's a tough game. That's a tough pool for you. From October to the end of the season, their easiest game will be hosting South Carolina. That should be all you need to know about Arkansas' schedule this year. From October 3rd, which is when the first Saturday of October is, to the end of the regular season, their easiest game will be hosting a Shane Beamer, South Carolina, with Lenora Sellers and all those talents.
Now, we just got done talking about Notre Dame. I don't side with USC on the whole let's not schedule them, but I would have sided with them this year. My God, the 6 straight games that USC has to go through, I don't want no part of, especially in I'm under a hot seat season or there's pressure on me to actually succeed this season like there is out there in LA with Lincoln Riley. 6 straight weeks or 6 straight games. There's a bye week in here. Oregon, Washington, at Penn State, at Wisconsin, Ohio State, at Indiana. They ain't going to come up for a breath, not one, for 6 straight weeks in that schedule, as opposed to their crosstown rival, the UCLA Bruins, who drew one of the big 3. They got to play at Oregon. No Ohio State, no Indiana. They got Michigan on the slate. But that's it. I mean, my God. Again, not siding with USC in perpetuity with this Notre Dame thing, but I don't want to add Notre Dame into that. By the way, I think they would have had to play earlier in the season. They would have had to get them first month. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good avoiding that because, good God, the gauntlet. I don't think there's a tougher 6-game stretch in college football than what USC's got to go through right there.
Yeah, the only one that I would put up next to that is a team I'm about to talk about here. So we've kind of touched on some ACC teams. I would like to have Clemson's schedule.
Yeah.
It's not a cakewalk, but it's one that you could get if you go 10-2, that's respectable. Of their 5 road games this season, one of them is against a preseason top 25 team, and it's not even a conference matchup. So if you lose that, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, LSU week 1. Combine that with the fact that 9 of their 12 regular season opponents are either G5 teams or will be starting a brand new quarterback. Now, they'll be talented quarterbacks who are sure, like Sam Leavitt, we think is going to be a really, really solid player for LSU. That said, 9 of the 12 are going to be starting a new quarterback or are just G5 teams. That's a massive advantage to you. They don't play outside the state of South Carolina the entire month of October. Minimal travel, minimal having to deal with road games and things like that. They'll be fine. So Clemson has a pretty easy schedule. On the adverse of that, their crosstown in-state rival, South Carolina. I do not want this schedule.
I didn't want it last year.
Oh, yeah, no. You don't want it this year. 5 of their 9 SEC opponents are currently ranked in the preseason top 25, with 3 of those 5 teams being playoff teams last year.
Yeah.
Gauntlet. Combine that with the fact that after week 3, they will not have consecutive home games for the rest of the season. It's on the road or it's home. It's back and forth, back and forth. You don't get a chance to say, all right, we can stay here for 2 weeks and practice. You're constantly worrying about traveling.
Dude, last year, They played number 11 LSU on the road, number 14 playoff team Oklahoma, number 4 playoff team Alabama, at number 7 playoff team Ole Miss, at number 3 playoff team A&M in 5 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, they close out the schedule this year. Their last 5 games of the season are against ranked teams or on the road or both. And let me read you the final 6 games of the South Carolina season. We have at Florida, Tennessee, at Oklahoma, Texas A&M, at Arkansas, Georgia, Clemson. I would say that goes up to USC's. Might not be harder, but it's comparable. Yeah. That's a tough 6-game stretch that I think, honestly, will probably be the demise of Shane Beamer.
So we've done in-conference with pretty much everybody but the Big 12 because, well, let's take a shot at them anyways. I want Texas Tech's schedule, obviously, for a variety of reasons. Kirby, you've been reading off opponents' records, and you gave me some stints, right? Yeah. Some first 6 games pockets, like they playing some poop for 6 games. Mm-hmm. How about all 12 of Texas Tech's opponents this year on the slate combined for a total record of 69-82 last year?
Nice.
Whole bunch of losers on the record books, it looks like. BYU and a bunch of – can Houston scare them? That's what's on the slate this year for them.
Yeah, I mean –
BYU and Houston, and then the rest of the Big 12, which they'll be favored by 14 points against.
Yeah, and I mean – and again, I don't want to put this all on the Big 12. It certainly is their fault, but like they've absorbed G5 teams. They replaced Oklahoma and Texas and had to absorb G5 teams.
Yeah, with Cincinnati and UCF.
Yeah, and it just so happened that while that was going on, NIL passed and one school has risen above the others and is spending way more money. Like, it's certainly an easy schedule. That's a joke of a schedule to try to be a playoff team from that. I don't want to say this is the Big 12's fault. This is like Oklahoma and Texas leaving really hurt them.
I mean, I think it could be very, very possible that Houston is the second best team in the Big 12 this year.
Absolutely.
I would bet Texas Tech's roster is 4x the value.
At least 3. At least
I saw a
3,
stat the other day or earlier today that said Texas Tech has 10 players in their 2027 class ranked inside the top 300. The rest of the Big 12 has 13 total.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I mean,
it's such a – it's not even we talk about talent gaps. It's wage gaps is what it is. Mm-hmm. There's a resource gap out there in that conference.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that Texas Tech has more resources.
And to give Sark some credit, I mean, he's right. I want that Texas Tech schedule. I do not want Texas's. I want nothing to do with Texas's schedule. The idea that he has pressure to go 10-2 on a schedule that has Ohio State, Oklahoma, Florida, Ole Miss, at LSU, and at A&M on it, yeah, I'd be complaining about the other in-state school playoff team's schedule too. Now, I probably wouldn't have put my foot in my mouth like he did or as bad as he did, but the context on that is he thought he was talking to a bunch of Texas boosters in a fan-oriented setting and did not notice that all of the beat reporters were in the back with their Twitter accounts pulled up.
I mean, you got to know where you are.
Yeah, so. You got to watch out.
And again, but I mean, to say your twos could win, we don't need to.
It was too much.
We don't need to rehash.
It was
that,
too much.
Yeah.
Could have said the segment with like, "Hey, they got a poop schedule."
Definitely, but
and everybody would be like, "Yeah, you're right. They do have a poop schedule."
But yeah, no, I don't think it takes a genius to figure out that Texas's schedule is significantly harder than Texas Tech's right now. That was loud.
The heck was that?
I don't know.
Mom's going crazy up there.
No, maybe.
She's working on the meatloaf. What else we got tonight, Kirby?
We just did schedules we do and don't want. Do we want to talk about some fan bases we feel sorry for?
Do we want to do this?
Yes.
All right, we want to do this. All right, let's go to the board. Okay. Now, I'm sure we got some members of these fan bases in the chat tonight, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about fan bases that right now, heading into 2026, we kind of feel bad for. I ain't even going to lie to you. A little pity headed your way. And I have started this list with none other than Florida State.
I want to push back on that.
And I'm going to allow you to do so, but I think it is undoubtable, unquestionable, that the fan base we should all feel most sorry for is Florida State because they ain't even trying. They ain't even trying out there.
Maybe. Here's why I don't feel as sorry for Florida State fans as I do the other team. If you're a Florida State fan and you've been alive for 15 years, you've seen your team win a national title, You've heard about it at least. You've seen your team win a conference title. You've seen your team have an undefeated regular season. Yeah, they got shafted in the college football playoff, all that stuff. Yes, right now it is awful. You have at least tasted some success in college football as a Florida State fan. It certainly does not look good right now. And in the future, we don't know what that looks like. However, imagine being a program that all you want, and you'll be happy with this as long as you live, to go 8-4. Maybe we pop a 9-3 every now and again. Just be relevant. And while that's going on, your crosstown in-state rival that you absolutely hate is winning college football playoff games, has all the attention of them. By the way, your head coach sadly, tragically passes away the last 3 years. The future of your program, you don't know what that looks like. The head coach you have right now, you kind of like him, but you don't know if that's going to last. I feel more sorry for anyone other than Mississippi State. Like Mississippi State, these fans have gone through it all, and frankly, they don't deserve it. Like this is a fan base. This is a team that has never experienced the highs of a Florida State fan. Like if you're a 30-year-old Florida State fan, you saw Jameis Winston. You were there for the latter years of Bobby Bowden. If you're a Mississippi State fan, what can you say? Hey, we were ranked number 1 that one time when Dak Prescott was there, and we ended up finishing the season 9-3. That's all you have if you're Mississippi State. I feel sorry for that fan base, in which, by the way, we've dealt with them. Some of the nicest people we've ever interacted with.
Great. They have hope, though.
That's fair.
In the form of Kamario Taylor. They have
for sure.
Hope.
There's certainly hope. More hope than Florida State this year.
And if I were a Mississippi State fan, I would be talking about the upward trajectory that our football program is currently on. I would talk about how 2024 was embarrassing. 2025 was semi-respectable. And then 2026 is the future with Kamario Taylor. But you might have sold me on head coach Dice. You know, that kind of, you pull my heartstrings.
Think about 5 years ago, you know what? We got Mike Leach. We're going to go 8-4, 7-5. We might pop a 9.
Fun as hell.
We're going to be fun. And then your head coach tragically dies. Like that. And since then, it has been a revolving door of, hey, this guy doesn't work. Get him out of here. Like, it's one of the more unfortunate things to go on. And by the way, while all this is going on, Ole Miss, a fan base who I think we can agree is rather abrasive, has been experiencing the most success they've ever had. I'm going to say Mississippi State's my number one. I completely understand.
What's Chat saying? So whose side is Chat on? Who are they giving the dub to?
It looks kind of like it's 50-50. I do see some, I feel really bad for Mississippi State. Some people talking about Florida State.
You're right in the sense that, Florida State's most recent national title can't even drive yet. It ain't been that long of poor pity.
Here's what I'll ask you.
Look at us.
If I could told you, Florida State wins a national title, Mississippi State wins a national title, which fan base are you happier for if that happens?
Mississippi State for sure.
I think that's what would like.
Okay, all right.
Florida State's definitely 2 though. Honestly, they'll be 1B.
At Coach died. You had me. All right, we'll go FSU at number 2. All right, so that knocks off our top 2 candidates here. Where are you going next? I'll give you the floor.
I'm kind of leaning. This is a recency thing. I'm kind of leaning UNC here. Now, right. UNC is not as passionate of a fan base.
You're bringing UNC. I'm going to bring to the floor Arkansas. Present your case. Go ahead.
So I don't think UNC is necessarily the most passionate fan base we've seen. But imagine the last decade as a UNC fan. We've got 2 first-round quarterbacks, and we don't win squat with them. Sam Howell was also a great quarterback. Didn't win anything with him. Hey, you remember that guy Mac Brown that won a national title at Texas? He's coming back to coach for us. That's going to go great. Doesn't go great.
He won 10 games one time.
Yeah.
He did it that once.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sam Howell, baby.
Yeah. Hey, remember arguably the greatest head coach of all time in the NFL, Bill Belichick? He's going to coach our program now. That's great. We're on the upward trajectory. Been a disaster ever since. I feel sorry for UNC fans from an aspect of you've had so much hope the last 10 years and you consistently get cut and punched in the gut.
I'm going to go Arkansas for the same reason I nominated Florida State, in the sense that their athletic director as recent as a year ago was we're not trying in football. We can win in baseball. We can win in basketball. We're trying in those. Silverfield, go see what you can do.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? They didn't even really – I didn't feel like they were super competitive in the coaching search, run. They didn't go after the big. I mean, Golish basically said no immediately.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
You know what I mean? So, like, I would feel bad. I feel bad for Arkansas fans. Now, it sounds a little weird. Maybe they should go further down this list because Silverfield does seem to have a little bit of juice. Mm-hmm. Seems like there's a little mo there. Not like we're about to go 9-3 in a couple years, Mo, but at least we're not a laughing stock anymore, it feels like.
So I might throw a wrench in this debate. What about Nebraska at this 3 spot?
Yeah, so I feel bad for Nebraska fans in the sense that I feel like they got duped into giving an extension to a guy who's not the guy. I don't think Matt Rule is going to return Nebraska to glory. Do you?
No, and I think that's
why
they
just got booked into that for 2031, I think is what they're into.
About that, yeah.
For like close to $8-9 million a year.
But for as much as Florida State, like, hey, a decade ago you were one of the haves in college football, Nebraska was one of the haves in college football 35 years ago now. Like, this is like Nebraska is the equivalent of like walking through a ghost town where you look around and like, man, this place must have all the liveliness and the economy.
It's Route 66, Radiator Springs.
Like what is this place? This is sad. Like, Nebraska makes a good case for the 3 spot too, because they're as passionate, as loyal as it comes.
Here's what I'm gonna do. The passion of the fan base, the amount of energy and passion that they throw into a mediocre program right now makes me feel bad for them because I do feel bad. But no, I'm going to go UNC here, and here's why. They don't just have the wrong coach. They didn't just hire the greatest NFL football coach of all time, and it's looking like it's not going to work out. They waged their future on him more so than all other football coaches because this is supposed to be coach 1 and 2 for the next several years. They're supposed to hand it off to Steve if this works, and it's not about to work is what it looks like based off the schedule we just ran off to you. So, and what if I add into the fact, Kirby, that the biggest booster on campus went in there and held the whole meeting room hostage when they could have had a real college football candidate. They were dwindling down coaching processes and doing it the right way. And then the biggest booster on campus walked in and said, I'm pulling my money if we don't stop everything and hire Bill Belichick.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's certainly reasons to feel bad for UNC.
And their basketball team sucks right now.
In comparison to what they once were, yeah.
We're going UNC. But, hey, baseball team playing for a natty. That's cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's cool.
Dude.
Good for you guys. All right, who's 4 and 5? We just mentioned Arkansas. You mentioned Nebraska. I think we should go Arkansas, then Nebraska. Because, look, hey, Nebraska's going to go 7 and 5 this year. Maybe. 8 and 4, maybe. I don't see 7 and 5 on the horizons for Arkansas for another couple of years.
No, from an immediate success standpoint, Nebraska is definitely in the favorable situation there. Yeah, I think Arkansas is fine there. I think it's splitting hairs.
When Nebraska fans see this at 5, they're still going to be upset about this. They're like, I don't need your pity. I think it's going to be their initial reaction. But I want them to listen to this video because I think they care enough, they pour enough into their football team where they should be a top 15 program.
Yes.
They should be one of these football teams we're talking about all the time.
That's why I feel bad for Nebraska because it's a fan base that loves that program, that deserves that, frankly. They love that program. They pour into it. Like the stat of when they fill up the stadium, it becomes like the 3rd largest county in the state. That stuff like that, Nebraska deserves to have the success it does.
All right, who's up next? I think 6 through 10 is going to be way harder than 1 through 5.
I agree. This is where we might.
6 through 10 is going to be really, really hard. All right, let's start marking off some of these teams we've already put on the list. We feel bad for Nebraska, UNC, Mississippi State, Florida State. All right, so I want to remove USC from this list entirely because I'm never going to feel bad about anybody living in LA. Never.
And also, like, you within this millennium, you were one of the greatest, like arguably one of the best dynasties in college football history. And by the way, we just talked about Nebraska. That fan base doesn't really show up and show out unless they're really good. They don't.
Also, by the way, if your coach gets fired this year, people are going to hurl themselves at that job.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm fine with
eliminating
USC.
I don't feel bad for you guys. I don't feel bad for you at all. Whereas if South Carolina fires Shane Beamer this year, they're not going to get a top 5 candidates list that looks like anything relative to what Southern Cal's would look like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, South Carolina is definitely one of the candidates. How about, imagine if you won your conference.
Yeah.
And then another team within that conference just bought your quarterback away.
And we were the first ones to ever get snubbed out of the automatic bid for a champion.
Yeah, we won our conference, didn't get a playoff bid, And then our quarterback got bought out. I feel kind of bad for Duke fans.
Our quarterback and maybe our best receiver in school history.
And by the way, this is the second time our quarterback has been bought away by a team that we
Riley Leonard of all people.
couldn't.
Riley Leonard of all people to get bought out from Duke.
Hate it.
Friend of the show.
But yeah, no, I think like stuff like Duke is a candidate for the 6th spot here.
I'm with you. Do you feel bad for Purgatory?
I think
they got a little mo on the trail right about
that
now.
was
It's so weird because, like, during the season last year, you've never felt worse about Dabo Swinney as a Clemson fan, and now he's kind of getting you back up. And I don't think it's going to go all that great this year. I think we're going to
Agreed.
I think we're going to feel one of these again.
I think it's definitely worth talking about Clemson as a candidate for the simple reason of, hey, this is a team that 5 or 6 years ago was named national championship competitors, and now they're going to be, scrapping to turn in a 9-3, 8-4 record. Definitely worth talking about. I personally have very little sympathy if in the last decade you've watched your team win 2 natties.
Oh, and you've won your conference 9 out of 11
Yeah,
years.
like Clemson, I'm sorry that it's not what it once was. I don't feel sorry for you. So Clemson is out of the list. So that means the names that are on
So we've got them.
We've got
the names. We've got to figure out the order here. All right, I'm going to put South Carolina on this list.
I'm agreeing with that.
Because we just started. There might be a little hope here with both those football coaches, with Matt Campbell and Golish down there at Auburn. So I'm going to go South Carolina right here for a variety of reasons. Most notably, I don't think he's the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he is. And I know I've been on this show before saying I'd play for that guy because he's done some things that I like. He's gone up to bat for players. He's got a lot of juice guy is Shane Beamer, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to win consistently at a appeasable rate at South Carolina. Not for my money.
That's totally fair.
There's too many flaws as a football coach. I don't think we don't have a mastery skill that can win consistently. We're a master in special teams, and all jokes aside, it hasn't been the lack of special teams that's gotten this team beat. It's been the constant problems on offense, the constant problems.
Here's an interesting kind of question that I want to. How bad do you feel for a Penn State fan? Because look, what transpired 15 years ago is disgusting. We don't even need to address that. But for the fan that tuned in every Saturday, that was going to the games, that had nothing to do with that, and then had that dropped on you as like that's your team, that scandal is your school. How bad do you feel for that team? Because they haven't really fully recovered from that. It took a while to get back. And then James Franklin obviously didn't end up being that. You're on your second or third coach since then. How bad do you feel for Penn State right now?
We're on our third coach since then, right? Because it was Bill O'Brien, and then it was Franklin. Yeah,
was Bill O'Brien the interim, though?
I don't know.
Either way.
They're on coach number 3 now. But here, I think they kind of fell into a bunch of crap and then came out smelling like maybe not a rose, but at least a flower budded.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Matt Campbell's not a bad football coach. Matt Campbell's on the board over here. You know what I mean? Like, I respect Matt Campbell as a football coach. Do I think he's an upgrade from Franklin? I have no idea. You know what I mean? But I do think if we did this list at any point in the season last year, they would have been top 3. Because it was so hopeless for so long.
Yeah.
You know, if it was somebody other than Matt Campbell, if they hired, no offense to this guy, but if they hired like the Huff dude from Northern Illinois who got the Memphis job, then I'd feel real bad for him. But I think Matt Campbell's a good football coach.
So I think we've narrowed it down to.
I'm into this area of Duke and Colorado, honestly.
I'm fine with. I think we should put Colorado there.
I think we should too. Where's the hope? Where's the hope in Colorado right now?
There's none.
All right.
There is none, and there's also like.
Oh, sorry, Julian Lewis.
Maybe.
Julian Lewis.
Yeah.
Julian Lewis is the hope.
Julian Lewis is the hope, and it's also like. I don't feel sorry for that fan base as much because it's like.
They did get their high.
Yeah, you got what you wanted out of that.
You got your fix. We'll go Duke next.
I'm fine with Duke next.
All right,
so
Duke had their whole life stolen.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
After getting snubbed, you could make an argument.
So between Auburn and Penn State, who we feel worse for?
Well, here's the deal. Penn State at least had a good coach last run. It was like something. I mean, it's been.
Gus Malzahn
Yeah.
3 coaches removed now.
Yeah. It's been bad but it was quick. They moved on from Harsin pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They moved on from Hugh Freeze, not as quick. Probably could have done it a little quicker. But I do feel bad for their boosters. I feel bad for their booster in the sense that all the buyout money, it wasn't like they didn't give Hugh Freeze good rosters. They spent a lot of money on those 5 and 6-6 rosters. I feel bad for Auburn fans because of all the investment. Like, they even have a $30 million roster now.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Penn State here.
Okay.
Because of what we just talked about earlier and how, look, Matt Campbell's a good coach, but that coaching search did not go the way you expected it to. You were the first to the party, and then everyone kind of looked at you and like, we'll wait for LSU or Florida to come open before we start really negotiating.
And I think they are the team who's been hurt most with expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Forever, they were team 3 in the Big Ten. It was Ohio State, it was Michigan, it was Penn State.
Yep.
And it was those 3. And now they're like 5, 6 behind Indiana and Oregon. Hell, maybe USC, especially this year, USC. So, yeah, I'm with you there. We've kind of – and it can happen that quickly in the Big Ten nowadays, honestly. Like, you were such a solid piece and known commodity at the top, and now you're kind of dwindling in the middle, it feels like. All right, we'll put Auburn in at 10. And that has nothing to do with goalish. That has everything to do with what it's been, right?
Yeah,
the last 6 years have just been not very fun.
No, not at all. Like that's part of why I would say you would feel bad for them. The reason I put them at 10 is because that fan base has also had some of the highest highs you could imagine. A kick 6, the prayer at Jordan Hare in one season. You beat the number 1 team twice in the same season to close out the regular season, go to conference championship. Auburn has enough positive things to hang their hat on.
Chat wants to give us a shout to Minnesota. I don't feel bad for Minnesota because they got the elixir. You know, I'm good with it.
I also would say that Minnesota
don't do that.
Do what?
I thought you were about to say they're achieving at where they're supposed to be. Don't do that.
That's not what I'm going to say. I would say what are you gonna Minnesota under PJ Fleck has been the best version of Minnesota the last 30 years you've seen.
True.
Like that's not they're achieving where they should be. Like Minnesota, like you can't tell me 15 years ago Minnesota football was at a better spot it was than it is right now. That's not to say they're achieving what they should be, but like people love PJ Fleck. That fan base loves PJ Fleck. So
I also don't feel sorry for Tennessee fans. I feel sorry for Tennessee fans in the sense that they don't realize. I don't think they understand that they might be in the starting of the good days here because it was bad. It was bad for 20 years out there in Knoxville. It was 7 wins on average from 2000 to 2000. Well, until Heupel took over.
I think Wisconsin does deserve a shout here. Yeah, a program that
again with the no trying thing.
Well, not only that, like if Penn State was 3, Wisconsin was typically 4 or 5 before expansion.
Yeah,
and then that happened, and then the obviously you lose some coaches. It's not what it once was. I would feel bad for Wisconsin fans, which is also a very passionate fan base.
I'm not in. I feel bad for West Virginia territory yet.
It hasn't gotten sad.
I think Rich Rod's trying.
It hasn't gotten sad enough.
Turning that thing up a little bit, it looks like to me.
And also,
we have Minnesota fans in the chat tonight. Row the boat, baby.
Shout out to Minnesota fans.
Go Gophers.
All right, we've got about 8 minutes left. It's Thursday. You know what that means.
Kirby's top 5?
It is time.
You got a banger for me tonight?
I do think
I got a banger for the local audience in the top 5. I got an absolute slap banger. What do you got for me?
All right, Brooks. You know I'm a big fan of music and people say I listen to some fairly obscure things. So I figured,
tad bit.
Why not list off some things?
Wait a minute. Tay Keith died?
Yeah, dude. Tay Keith died. Found that out like an hour before show. Unfortunate.
You know what I miss? The days of real elaborate DJ call-outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where'd you find this? I miss all of those.
I like those, but the problem is like when
DJ Ill Will.
The problem is when you start like when I was growing up, like I wasn't paying for Spotify, so I would have to like get the bootleg version.
Yeah.
And like every 15 seconds.
That's how you knew it was heat.
Well, like every 15 seconds when that comes on, I was like, dude, I'm trying to listen to the song. So I didn't love that. But anyway.
Go ahead.
Don't finish that.
I'm not.
The top 5 I'm going to do this week is about some songs we're all familiar with and perhaps too familiar with. So I have the top 5 most overplayed songs. Kicking it off right away with number 5, Mr. Brightside.
Can I say, if there is an omission on this, I will riot.
Well, I will have to see.
Okay.
I feel like
There is a notorious number one pick here. It was way overplayed. Go ahead.
I feel like I covered that basis. However, Mr. Brightside, it's a fine song. And a lot of these songs on this list I like. We go to that well a little bit too much.
Isn't it Michigan that plays that?
Michigan plays it, and then you like go to any college bar and stay there from 11 till 12. You'll hear that song. It is well loved, understandably so. It's a great song, but I think we've gone to that well a few too many times. Number 4, we have "Don't Stop Believing." I mean, if you play this song anytime after 6 p.m., white moms will be activated like the Winter Soldier. That piano riff starts, dude, and they just
gotta go.
It becomes a karaoke party anywhere they are. It's a good song. I love Journey. They've got some great songs, but man, "Don't Stop Believing." Anytime you hear that, just like the woo.
Oh, woo girls are the worst.
Yeah,
Woo girls are the worst. Stay away from woo girls. They're bad for your health.
agreed. So yeah, "Don't Stop Believing." Fine song, overplayed a bit much, and honestly, I hold this one in kind of the same vein. "Dancing Queen." I don't love this song, and maybe that's why I have it higher on this list. But, man, I feel like anywhere you go, if there is a group of people congregating, Dancing Queen is on. You'll hear it at a wedding. You'll hear it at a party. You'll hear it most anywhere. People, like, it's a fine song. Not my favorite. Overplayed to a slight bit. All right, number 2.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Here's why I'm going to put this song there.
Okay.
Me and my friends went to a bar in New York City one time. It was a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
You pay $1 to request a song, put $1 in, you pick a song. Do you know how much it costs to play Bohemian Rhapsody at a karaoke bar?
No telling.
$10.
Because they don't want you to do it.
Because that's how bad they do not want you to, because it is so overused. I love this song. If this song comes on, I will bang my head to it. At the same point, though, it's a bit overplayed. We use it a bit too much. You know it. Don't worry.
You got to help me out sometimes with hooks. I don't.
Well, that's the Mama Ooh song.
Okay, I'll listen to it after the show. What do you got for me, honorable mentions?
Before we get to number 1, we always do the honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1 I have for you is "Welcome to the Jungle."
Nah,
I love
I'm
this
not
song.
having that.
I love this song.
Not
No,
having
stop. I love this song. The opening riff, one of the best rock and roll riffs you've heard. It's from one of the best debut albums you're ever going to hear in rock. I've gotten a little bit tired of any youth league sports game we go to. This is the walkout song. Anytime there is some, like, hey, we need a cliche rock song to get us pumped up, it's this. Go to any normal I need a gym workout place, you hear this. I feel like the effects and the magic of "Welcome to the Jungle" has worn off a bit because we've used this song so much.
We got fun and games.
Yeah, exactly. We got everything you want. It's a great song. I love it. It's a bit overplayed, though. I'm sorry. Number 2.
I mean, basically, if I know it, it's overplayed at this point.
And man, I hated putting this one on there. Uptown Funk.
You hated it, huh?
I love Bruno Mars. I think
I know.
I think he's one of the most talented pop stars of our
It is
generation.
interesting that you hold such Bruno Mars strong opinions about how talented he is. It's just interesting.
He's fantastic. I love him.
I don't know of a bigger Bruno Mars fan that is a male than you.
That's fair. Maybe. But yeah, no, this one, anytime it comes on at this point, it's like, I've heard this one a few too many times. We've overplayed Uptown Funk a little bit. Bruno's got some other songs, guys.
Best walk-up song ever, "Hero" by Skillet. Go
Agreed.
ahead.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. Final honorable mention before we get to number 1 is "Roar." Katy Perry's "Roar." I'm not even going to say that, but
I think you've rage baited me. I'm going to have to throw something. I don't know what I'm going to throw, but I don't think number 1 is going to be on there.
all right. The number 1 song, the epitome of this song has been played so much to the point where I hate it. It has become the bane of our existence. It is Pharrell Williams' "Happy."
No. This isn't your fault. You're not of the same age demographic as I am. Anybody who is, though, of my age or older, you were ready to rip out your car radio every single time Toby Keith's Red Solo Cup came on.
Oh, no, I remember
You were
that.
done. You were absolutely done. And the fact that Red Solo Cup did not make that list makes me want to riot, because the hatred that I had within my heart for that dumbass song, and the way that the song was written and how it came about, makes me even more angry. Do you know the story?
That story's fake.
I want it to be real because it makes me hate it even more.
It's not true.
R.I.P. Tay Keith and Toby Keith. But
Yeah, the Keith.
damn that song. Damn
Definitely-
Red Solo Cup.
Definitely a song that got a little too much radio play at the time. Here's why I have Happy as my number one. And this is a credit to Pharrell Williams. He somehow managed to make a song that was quote unquote perfect for every single day. You're having a good day. Play Happy. The sun's out. Play Happy. Having a bad day. Play Happy. Is there a middle school dance? Play Happy. Need some coworker music to get the team fired up? Play Happy. It is the song that is so universally perfect for everything that it was used no matter what for everything, and that's why I cannot stand it anymore. It is one of the most overplayed songs in history. Pharrell Williams Happy. That is Kirby's top 5 of the week.
See, I don't think songs like What Does the Fox Say make it, because like that's made to make you angry.
Yeah, like that is
Like
the example they rage.
Baby Shark doesn't get made into
That's a
this.
rage bait. Those are
rage bait songs.
Happy is just a genuine song that just became a hit, and everyone's like, yeah, because I'm like, no, stop.
It's a decent list today.
Thank you.
Not as
Appreciate
good as my top 5 that I've decided just now that I'm going to start the local hour with. We'll see you on the other side. Got a full hour for you folks.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another loaded hour here on the Film Guy Network. It is our local hour. We finna talk that dog right here on the channel for the next 60 minutes. It's going to be a good one. It is Thursday, so of course we have Discord Q&A. If you want to find out how to get in that Discord, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. Link in the description. It's filled with some of the best dog fans and certainly the best dog community that is on the planet Earth. We're going to take questions from those folks. I have a top 5 for you guys. We have some Zachariah Branch new-ish news. I don't think it's all that new. For some reason, it's going
something
viral.
That went viral.
Buddy,
that was discussed months ago.
This is one of my least favorite things about the internet, and I blame Bussin' with the Boys. This idea that, hey, this video went viral 6 months ago. Let's just reviral it right now because we know it'll go viral. I hate this trend, and it's all over Twitter. It's all over all the social medias. I dislike it. It's honestly why our social media feed that runs our show will never bang, because we're not going to do none of this aggregation crap. I despise it about my timeline, but people are talking about it, and it seems like they forgot that we talked about it, so we're going to talk about it again. And I've actually talked with USC about this. So, we'll bring up all that. So there's that. Zachariah Branch news. UGA Florida State news today as well. And Kirby watched an old game. He's going to bring us notes on that.
Sure did.
I've got a top 5, though, and these are my top 5 dogs. It's a big list.
All right, so is this like
big list. These are my favorite dogs.
Parenthesis, or is this
my favorite
quotations dogs?
No. My favorite dogs.
Okay.
My favorite Georgia Bulldogs. You want the OLI first?
Need it.
All right, OLI. Freshman Tyreek Stevenson.
Understandable.
Jonathan Williams got a smile on his face right about now. Of course, Javon Bullard makes the OLI. Tyke Smith.
Yes.
All nickels right there. Boom. Tyke, Bull, freshman Tyreek Stevenson. Warren McClendon. I talked about him in my favorites to study. Love me some Warren McClendon tape. Broderick Jones. Enjoyed his entire career. Sneaky OLI. Wish I could have made him into my top 5. That damn Devontae Wyatt was a freak.
Yeah.
That damn Devontae Wyatt was so twitched up, and I'm a man that falls in love with a twitchy D lineman. If you 290 and bounce up off the rock, oof, I'm going to be a fan of yours. I was a big fan of Devontae Wyatt.
How many OLIs do we have for this list?
I believe that's 8.
Wouldn't it just in the top 10?
You don't get the show.
Sorry.
You don't get the show. Guy's on the show, and he doesn't get the show.
Sorry, I'm having to fend off texts in the family group chat because my mom's mad for calling out white moms for the "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh, she's one of these?
Allegedly. She did not like my list.
Christian Kirby, is your mother a woo girl?
No, but she does love that
Okay.
song. She
All
does
right.
love Don't Stop Believing.
Shout out Mama Kirby. Yeah, my OLI was a little thick. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Don't worry about it. Number 5. I don't think anybody's going to suspect this one to be on my top 5 dogs list, but he is number 5. He is a Migos sycophant. He is one Richard LeCount.
Oh, that's fair.
I loved
Richard LeCount kind of felt like the first Kirby Smart, fully recruited, fully coached dog of the defensive backfield. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, JR, he took JR from Tulsa, but he took JR from Tulsa because of who JR's cousin was.
Correct.
Who was the 5-star DB, D'Angelo
Gibbs.
Yeah, they were cousins. So that's why they took JR, because they thought it was going to make him help land D'Angelo. Turns out JR 5 times the better football player.
Yeah.
D'Angelo
But
Gibbs
no,
never
Richard
really worked
LeCount
out.
was like the first, like, hey, here's a defensive prospect that is going to show how different things are going to be in the Kirby Smart era. Came to Georgia and actually played and lived up to that hype.
And he's the last defensive back, maybe in the history of Georgia football, as long as Kirby's here, that's allowed to free roam. He could just do whatever he wanted, good or bad. And it would cause some bad now. There would be some busted coverages because my man's out here doing whatever his brain told him to do. And, 90% of the time it'd make Richard make a great play. The other 10% of the time, Arkansas just ran by him for a 75-yard touchdown. And you're like, what was number 2 doing? Number 2 is jumping on the out, and they out and upped him. And it happens. You just got to live with it sometimes with Richard. By the way, if you want to watch any Richard LeCount game, go watch 2020 Arkansas, because it is the definition of him.
God, yeah.
It is the definition of what he was all about. And by the way, doing all of it, don't take offense, Kirby size. Like 5'9", 185 pounds out there.
I'm
He was
not
a
5'9".
buddy. Richard LeCount is a small human.
No, I'm saying I'm not 5'9".
Oh, no. Richard is. Richard's like 5'10 and a half. I think his NFL combines were that.
Yeah, no, I don't take any offense.
No. He is not the biggest man, but God, he played big. He played so big. Number 4, Jalen Carter.
Understandable.
Jalen Carter is also an exposure prospect for me, because anytime I hear people talk about Jalen Carter, there's a term in there that I know exposes them for not having watched Jalen Carter. Anybody who talks about Jalen Carter and uses the word twitch, they're watching the wrong football player, because he ain't twitched up. Jalen Carter does not have a great first step. Jalen Carter is not this supreme elite athlete. Oh my God. Like, I wowed at Devontae Wyatt far more from a flash perspective than you do Jalen. But Jalen is the strongest human being to ever play football. I believe that. Jalen Carter is the most immovable object that's ever lived at 300 pounds. The guy's hands have thunder in them. The moment he touches you, you just go, you just explode. Maybe that's lightning or C4. Whatever it is, my man, bow. Just absolutely the hardest human to ever move.
It's like that. I don't like when you watch an old cartoon and like there's a train moving really slowly and then it just like barely touches something. There's an explosion.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like with Jalen Carter. He wasn't moving slowly, but the impact that he had on blockers felt so much more drastic than how fast he was moving.
My favorite thing to do with Jalen Carter tape is to pause the film when the offensive lineman believes they're about to get contact and watch how far nose over toes they are. Watch how every offensive lineman ever that plays Jalen Carter plays with a tilt like this. You know why? Because if they play with their regular sternum and regular spine angle, they'll end up on their ass. And that's how strong he is. Number 3, Andrew Thomas.
Valid.
Andrew Thomas, to this day, I can't wait to do the second half of the GOAT study, because Andrew Thomas shows up and he is special. What?
That's a pre-covering the team, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got 1 year of him.
Okay.
2019. I got 1 year of him. And, I always thought very fondly of myself. I still do. But now is more of like a content creator. Like, I feel as if no one can do what I do as good as I do it because I work harder, all that, yeah, whatever. The confidence in my own skill set now. But I had that as an athlete when I first started covering Georgia, because I was, 3 years out. I was relatively fresh out. And my thought process was always like, I'm a 6 foot, 6'1.5", 6'1" on a good day, depending on which 7-Eleven I'm leaving. And I'm just 3 inches away from being these guys is what I always thought. It's like, I'm just too short to be here. No. Andrew Thomas was like, I don't know. They're not just taller than me. They're a total different species in terms of athleticism, regardless to me. He looked like he floated. His feet, he was so twitched up that his cleats never looked like they were in the ground. because his feet were always, you know what I mean?
That's a good one, yeah.
Number 2, Brock Bowers, obviously.
Really?
Yeah.
Figured he'd be
Brock.
number 1.
No, number 1 is Stetson Bennett.
Also valid.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think I'm partial to Stetson because I think Stetson's partial to me. I think based off the fact that I'm the only guy to ever interview him, there's something there. And even when I see him nowadays, there's something you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say that Stetson probably would get the nod too over Brock just because of where he was to where he developed.
Correct.
Like, if you go, like, you don't even have to watch the 2020 season. Go watch number 22 Stetson Bennett taking like dead time reps in the fourth quarter of a Murray State game and think like, that's the guy who becomes the greatest Georgia quarterback of all time. Not only greatest, but arguably one of the best from a skill set standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that progression is so cool to watch. Whereas Brock Bowers was like, oh yeah, this is going to be one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, and this is not a slight to Brock Bowers, obviously, but I don't feel like Brock Bowers' development was that drastic from week 1 to the final time he took a snap. Like, he was Brock Bowers.
He led the team in receptions against Clemson week 1, didn't he?
Yeah. So, like, that was always like...
Now, it's because they only completed about 12 balls in that game.
That was
but
snoozer
that's
of
a
a game.
topic for another day.
But yeah, I would put Stetson in that one.
Chat's asking, where's Aaron Murray at? These are dogs that I covered. Aaron would go into a different category of retired dogs that I couldn't even fathom the idea that I would have relationships with guys like that.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? That's a different category.
Aaron Murray was
like
my
Aaron
favorite.
Murray and Chris Marshall. They're in like their own category of, wait a minute, I have a relationship with those people? That's insane to me. That's what I can't wrap my head around there. But yeah, those are great people.
Yeah, no,
Not just great football players. We've had the opportunity to get to know those men as humans, and that's yeah, that's my top 5. Pretty
like
solid.
it. Good top 5.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, reviewing, all that good stuff. Kirby, where should we actually start our local hour? There was some, I guess, Zachariah Branch news.
Yeah, let's knock this out real quick. Yeah. So Zachariah Branch went on the St. Brown podcast with Amon Ra and his brother, and they were basically talking about a lot of things. What's wrong?
I ran out of batteries over here.
Oh, we're about to start getting popping?
I might have to go upstairs and get another set.
Well, in the meantime, I apologize for the audio difficulties and all those things. That said,
I tricked it into getting a little bit more juice.
Okay, good. Hopefully it'll last the show. Amon Ra is obviously a USC graduate, so he felt some type of way about Zachariah Branch having left USC to transfer to Georgia. He's asking about this and basically comes upon what ultimately led you to transfer. And the story Zachariah Branch gives is basically that he was unable to work out in the facility after hours. They would close it down because apparently USC was dealing with some lawsuit where a person hurt themselves, had the bar land on their neck or something. So they were no longer letting athletes work out in the facility after hours, which was obviously something that Zachariah Branch is very big on. He talks about how his work ethic, he wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning to work out, stays after practice to do some jug reps, had no opportunity to do that at USC. Also talked about how the training rooms are all shared amongst athletes. So if you're Zachariah Branch and you're trying to get taped up, you're also intermingling with the players. There'll be a little bit more static. Give it 1 second, folks. I'm sorry for those who are in headphones with their ears. It should be good now.
Bro said he couldn't get taped because they had water polo.
Yeah, like stuff like that. So that ultimately created a big rift in social media, which, by the way, Zachariah Branch talked about this in April. We wrote articles on this of Zachariah Branch basically revealing that he went to Georgia because they gave him the opportunity to work out whenever he wanted. But for whatever reason, this has gone mega viral for, hey, oh my God, can you believe Zachariah Branch said this? USC's football facilities must be a joke. What's going on here? So that's the story.
What are y'all holy crapping about? What did I do?
I don't know.
What did I do?
I don't know what you did.
Huh. My bad.
Probably the
with the sound when those things came back on.
Thing.
That's on me, guys. My bad. I blame Jonathan for not being here.
Does he change the batteries? Is that his job?
Yeah. Well, he reminds me of certain things, you know?
Oh.
He's like my wife in that sense. They don't allow me to to F up like that. They said I just killed him. That's on me, guys. I'm sorry. Y'all good now? Everything good? Static blew the speakers out in my car. Ooh, damn.
That sucks.
I'm sorry, guys. Big L's in the chat. Big L's in the chat. That's on me. Yeah, so here's the deal. There's rules, obviously lawsuits, potential lawsuits that could be open if you don't have, or if a player gets hurt inside your building, there's nobody there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would imagine Georgia gets by this by having a person inside the facility 24/7. It's the only way they could.
Got to be something like that.
You know, when he goes into the facility at 11 o'clock, I would imagine he's not the only one in there.
Yeah, I would. I mean, there's probably some janitor or something like that. Someone on staff that you could go, oh, no, he's here.
Yeah. The way I said I had a little insight on this. The way I know that schools have gotten by this is doing like a free weights section outside of the weight room that you can always have access to. Like you can always have access to these dumbbells, these bands, these whatever, maybe a pull-up bar, but we can't have you in here doing barbell exercises in case something bad happens.
That's fair.
Which makes sense. I wouldn't want to open the university up to a lawsuit either. But yeah, he was like, he couldn't even go in and get jugs. Couldn't even like go in and get catches.
Yeah, that's tough.
Now, if you talk to a person at USC, you know what they would say?
Money.
No.
What?
It's Makai Lemon.
No, maybe.
That's what they'll say. They'll say, yeah, it was probably due to the fact that Makai Lemon was here, not that he didn't get extra work.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean.
I think there's a little bit of legitimacy to both because Zachariah is a lunatic when it comes to he called it his process, or what did he call it?
I watched the interview today.
He had a word for it. It wasn't process either. He's like, I couldn't get my routine. Was that
something like
script? Something. He has like a detailed plan for how he handles his own, body. I think it's, unique for it's certainly unique for a 21-year-old. Probably not unique for an NFL football player, but certainly unique for a junior in college. So yeah, that was an interesting rehashing of story, which again, that hit the timeline during the draft process. During NFL Combine, he made that statement.
Yeah, this was before he got arrested.
Now it's getting reaggregated.
I mean, in fairness, it was reaggregated in the form of he spoke on it again. Why it didn't get as much traction the first time around, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like one of those stories that goes under the radar, and then you say it again, people are like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. So. Some more news about UGA and Florida State today.
Yeah, so we talked about this a few weeks ago, how Georgia and Florida State had ultimately canceled their home-and-home series, but they would be pushing for a neutral site matchup. And then the location of that neutral site matchup would be one of 7 spots. The spot has been selected. The Florida State Seminoles and the Georgia Bulldogs will take place in Nashville, Tennessee, which they're building a new stadium out there. It's supposed to be an exciting venue.
Is it brand new?
I think so.
They're not doing the.
It's going to be new, whatever.
I thought they were just kind of rehashing the old one.
I don't. Either way,
they going bluey on the old one and building a new one right next door.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about the
They're doing
Stadium.
some sort of construction renovations there to play in a newer environment.
Hey, Nashville's a vibe.
Nashville is a vibe, man.
So I've been told.
But yeah, so if you want to watch Georgia and Florida State play, 2 teams that play on bordering states, you'll have to go to a completely other state to do it.
Hey, at least you guys border it,
right?
You know?
Yeah,
it's about 3.5 hours from Athens, right?
About 3.5, 4.
Right, 3.5 hours.
It's a lot further than Athens or Tallahassee, but again, it's one of these things where we've talked about this before. Schools are going to get paid absorbent amounts of money, and by the way, rosters aren't cheap anymore. This isn't 15 years ago where we don't really need the extra $70 million.
By the way, your athletic administration department at Georgia was in favor of this long before NIL came about. Your program and your athletic director, based off his verbiage, and your president hasn't talked much about this, but your athletic director has been very, not outspoken, but very forthcoming about the fact that this is a business, man. Like, it just is what it is. He even had a very stern comment about logos and patches on the jerseys. He's like, look, guys, we're trying to win. I don't know about y'all, but we're trying to win.
It costs money to win.
And it costs money to win. So if it means putting a Delta patch on the jersey and playing this game in Nashville instead of your third email of the day asking for money from fans, I would rather this route because I know my budget's tight, your budget's tight, your budget's tight. I know it is. So I would rather them find ways to circumvent not getting into my pocket as a fan. And if it costs me watching a neutral site game every once in a while, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it sucks.
It does
but it's
suck.
reality. And I know we keep moving the bar with you guys. We keep making a new reality for college football fans. And eventually, some of you guys will just be like, I'm done. You move the bar too much. But this is just the reality of it.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who would hold season tickets or as like a student to where, hey, these games are things that I get to go to. I have the opportunity to go to there in my home state, being told, actually, you know what? We're going to play Murray State instead, but you can go to Nashville and watch Georgia play Florida State. Yeah, that absolutely sucks. I hate that. That affects the fans. But the trickle down of that is that you got to make money. You got to spend money on those players. And if you spend money on those players, you'll win games. And at the end of the day, that's what fans want.
I think Mercedes-Benz paid Georgia Tech $12 million to have that Georgia game there last year.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'd take 12.
I'd take one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a couple D tackles, baby.
Right. So yeah, that was the news.
And look, I think moving forward, all of the when a non-con game is announced with a Power 4 football program, mentally you should assume that's going to be a neutral. Just don't even open the possibilities for heartbreak that you might get to go to Doak Walker Stadium. It's probably not going to happen.
I mean, if it does, it'll be a nice surprise too.
And look, I thought aesthetically. And just, it's Arizona State. It wasn't even like a big school. When Georgia went out to Arizona State,
2008.
I thought that was so cool.
Sick.
I thought it was so sick. Now, also, I've been very open and adamant about my love for Noshawn Marino, and that was one of the sickest plays in the history of college football. That motherfucker leaped from the 8. He was way up in the air.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's a lot of, bye-byes. Like that's not happening no more. It's not going to be.
No, I mean, that sucks, and that's the part of the modern times.
Was it the 8?
It was far.
I mean, it was way.
It was like
back
the
there.
5 or 6, like
way back there.
probably like the 4-yard line, honestly.
I'm
Which
gonna
is a 12-foot jump, by the way. So
gonna
it's nothing to scoff at. But yeah, no, very impressive from No Shummery. But yeah, that is unfortunately the new reality. Are you just gonna watch it right now? Oh yeah. It is a very sick play. I watched that game a few months ago, or actually last year.
I'm cool with this transition. Go ahead.
I would say, I watched that game. There's a play where it's obviously an outlawed play now. Georgia motions in a wide receiver. I don't remember which wide receiver. A motion crack block. I mean, just destroys and kills someone. One of the most hard-hitting plays I've ever seen.
It's from the 4.
That's what I said. It's about the 4.
Yeah, I thought it was from at least the 6.
Still a 12-foot jump. So, I mean, nothing to scoff at. But, yeah, no.
Man, y'all were ranked 3 that year, huh?
This was the year Georgia came in ranked number 1. This is 2008. This is right after Georgia gives Hawaii the business in the Sugar Bowl. They had played, really – I don't think they had played anyone really of note that year. I think they started the season against Georgia Southern. Obviously, things don't go as planned against Florida. You lose to Georgia Tech late in that season.
Whoa.
So.
Sean Bayer, 1635. That Arizona State game was the only Georgia game I've been to, and I was like 9.
Interesting.
You must be a West Coast dog. Maybe we can figure out something for Sean this year. Maybe we can get him to a game. I don't like to single folks out like that, but maybe. Can't have a West Coast dog not coming out here to see the dogs. And I mean, that's 14 years ago.
It's a long time.
Longer than that. It's 18 years ago.
Well, I was talking about
buy cigarettes. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was talking about games that I watched recently, and I also watched another old Georgia football game, the recurring segment that we have. So I took some notes on that, and I've got a few stats for you so you can try and see and guess which game this is. I'll give you one hint. This is a game that you would have covered.
That's the hint?
So that's the first hint, and then I have 3 facts for you to kind of.
So this is 2019 and on.
Correct.
Now, was I covering this game from a sweaty-ass garage, or was I credentialed?
That's too much of a hint.
Okay. Go ahead.
This was the second year in a row. This was a top 10 matchup, and it would also be a top 10 matchup the ensuing season.
So it can't be. I was going to think you were trying to trick me with Arkansas. It can't be Arkansas. All right, go ahead.
This was the first time in 5 years that this game was decided by less than 14 points.
This is an Alabama-Georgia game.
No.
No?
Nope. Next hint. Prior to the fourth quarter of this game, Georgia had not completed a pass of more than 15 yards against an SEC team.
All year?
All year.
Dude,
That should give you a real big hint.
I mean, I really don't have one. It's got to be. Is this a Jake Fromm start?
It's a Jake Fromm start.
Okay.
So it's got 2019.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who in that year was ranked inside the top 10 3 straight years. And it's not
This was
Alabama.
the second straight year. The 2020
was
would
Florida
be
this good? It's Florida.
It's Florida.
It's Georgia, Florida, 2019.
the 2019 Georgia Florida
and this is
game.
this is the first game in Jake Fromm's career where he threw the ball 30-plus times and won?
Correct.
Go ahead.
So this game starts out. Obviously, Georgia is coming off of a devastating and embarrassing.
Damn, Florida was up, huh?
Yeah, this was the Kyle Trask year one thing where we take over and we're all of a sudden really good. This was the year where Georgia is coming off of an embarrassing loss to South Carolina and then that monsoon game against Kentucky. A lot of people were out on Jake Fromm. A lot of people were kind of like, oh, this offense sucks. And the offense had some struggles, no denying there. So the game kicks off, and Florida burns 2 timeouts on their first offense drive
Dan Mullen.
within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I think, if my memory serves me correct, it was the same exact reason both times he had 10 on the field.
Yes. He had 10 players on the field, has to call a timeout. The first drive is one of the first things like, this is the Dan Mullen experience. 2 timeouts.
You took words right out of my mouth. And people wonder why I crack on Dan Mullen. Because I watched this. I was there. Go ahead.
Oh, it gets better, dude. It gets better. Florida finds itself in a 4th and inches. 4th and inches.
Trick play?
We run a 5-yard out route.
Oh, yeah.
Richard LeCount breaks it up. Now,
it's not as bad as snapping between the legs to Jaden Ball, Smile Mondon TFL -4 on 4th. That was Billy Napier's 4th down play.
That was between the legs of Travis Etienne.
Oh, yeah.
Interior of Dawkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the 2023 game.
Man.
But yeah, no, that was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And
but a 5-yard out route on 4th and inches is like, huh?
Yeah, why are we doing that? So Georgia takes over on downs, and we have a back and forth affair. I remember watching this game, the Lawrence Cager game, like that being titled the Lawrence Cager game is 1,000% accurate. He had 3 third and long conversions in that game on top of the touchdown he had, on top of a 2-point conversion immediately after that.
It was the old dragging up versus cover 3, wasn't it?
Correct. I mean, just
good play.
Again, this is the Lawrence Cager game.
James Coley was in his bag.
I'm so glad you said that because I know that the 2019 season has its own, there's kind of a lore to that, and James Coley being the OC, he called a really good game in this.
Yeah.
Now Georgia only scores 24 points on offense. They had to do a lot of that. They had to sell for a lot of field goals. There was never a point in that game where I was like, what is James Coley doing?
And wasn't the Lawrence Cager play a dagger?
Kind of.
Was it like the
So
was it? Hey, we solidified, or at least we got to hold on to this win now.
Yeah.
Here's why I bring this up. As a play caller, because they had been a cover 3 football team all year that year. I remember this, and there are certain beaters we have against certain coverages, and we know that they're going to win if we get them completed. We know the guy's going to be open, but the problem is we can't call that play when we've already extinguished a lead or it's 35-7. There's no point in burning it. We can't do it when we're down 21-7 because we are too late. It's a timing thing. We have to call that at the right time.
Yeah.
And I felt like he called that play at the exact right time. We're in plus territory. I think he's on the plus 45.
Correct.
It's an early down, maybe 2nd and 3.
It was not a 3rd down, yes.
Yeah, we get a rub off of it and we hit it. It has to be called at the right time.
The score was 16-10 at the time. They went up 23-10, then converted the 2-point or 22-10, converted the 2-point conversion, made it 24-10. So yeah, you're right. It was essentially like we're trying to do a dagger. It was in the midway through the 4th quarter. So yeah, it's crazy just to watch how many players were on this roster that were fine role players that developed into full-fledged stars by the 2021 season. Devontae Wyatt was getting burned in this game. Zamir White was taking touches. James Cook was getting touches. Jordan Davis was in there every now and then as a relief for Tyler Clark. Trayvon Walker, obviously, he batted a pass in this game. Nakobe Dean was playing a little bit. Like, guys, like, Nakobe Dean was behind Monty Rice in this game. Guys that were, role players, decent at the time, had potential, that just turned into the most recognizable names in Georgia defensive history. Very fun to watch that, and very fun to see how raw they were at the time. Like, Jordan Davis was kind of just like, yeah, he's big. He's gonna suffocate the double team. We have him at true zero. We'll be fine there. Nothing really crazy he was doing there. So very fun to watch that. Kyle Pitts was a problem.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts was certainly a problem. In the first half was kind of the Kyle Pitts show for Florida because they couldn't really run the ball at all. But seeing what he did in 2019, and then obviously it makes sense as to what went down in 2020. Georgia led 13-3 at the half thanks to its third down conversions. The key to this game, I don't remember the exact statistic, Georgia converted multiple third downs. Like there was a 3rd and 5, like the first Lawrence Cager third down that they convert is like a 3rd and 14.
You probably already mentioned this. Is this the year where they open up with a 75-yard touchdown to Zamir White?
That's 2020.
Okay.
That was 2020. That was like, oh, we're about to roll him again. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Marcus Rosemi-Zach Saint touchdown, and then Stetson Bennett gets hurt, and he's kind of not the same after that, and Kyle Trask and Flores keep scoring.
I think I've told the story about this game, but this was one of the first away games or non-UGA games that I was credentialed for.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, it's a neutral site game, but Florida's SID department controls credentials. So Florida's SID department gets Brooks Austin on SI. That's what it says on the application. So the SID department at Florida thinks I work for Sports Illustrated National, that I'm a bigwig. In reality, it's my first year ever covering college football, and I'm a local beat reporter. They sit me in the middle of the press box with all of the big-time Big J journos. I'm talking about my man Pat 40. I'm talking about my man Mark Schlaball. I'm talking about my man Ross Dellinger. I'm talking about my man that works for The Athletic, Bruce Feldman, and my goofy ass sitting right in the middle of all of them. And they're like, who's it? It took them about 2 quarters, but I started unleashing ball knowledge on them.
Nice.
Yep.
But yeah, no, so that was a 2020 game, obviously. The Brian Herrien catch is still
sick,
so impressive.
Sick.
The wherewithal, and correct me, I want to have a debate with you on this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a catch where a player tips a ball to themselves and catches it in an acrobatic position it can be more impressive than a one-handed snag.
Did I have to tip it in order to catch it?
Yes.
So like it was way out of my framework, and I just caught the nose of it and tipped it to myself.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
But
if it's like in my box, in my body, in my framework, and I tip it, that's bad hands.
Agreed.
But I'm with you. If it's like, oh, ball's late or like sudden to me and I got to like do one of those, just much more impressive.
Which is exactly like we all know.
That's how that was.
He dives out for the ball, hits it up, and then while he's falling down, he is horizontal with the ground, is able to grab it with 2 hands. One of the more impressive efforts I've seen.
He doesn't catch that ball if he doesn't flick the tip of it and get it back flowing back towards him.
Absolutely not. So that was fantastic. We talked about how Dan Mullen had to burn 2 timeouts in the first half, and that killed him. Florida is down 24-10 at this point. We're getting late in the game. They're going on drives. They're sustaining a drive. Have to call a timeout for personnel. This time, Van Jefferson very obviously does not get the play call and is freaking out. So Dan Mullen has to use a pre-snap timeout and starts chewing out whichever assistant that is. So Florida has 2 timeouts left in the second half. Florida ultimately goes down, scores a touchdown here, makes it 24-17. There's about 3 minutes left. Georgia has to get a first down essentially to ice the game because Florida only has 2 timeouts now. This is where we get the Eli Wolf 3rd and 7 throw, which I honestly would say is one of Jake Fromm's best throws. It doesn't look anything special. It's not a deep ball, but he is kind of off center, has to throw it to the opposite side of the field on a deep out route and land it in just perfectly to Eli Wolf. It's a fantastic throw, and I think it's kind of the game that reinstilled a lot of faith in Jake Fromm. It's the classic one where there's that picture of him and Kirby, like almost moved to tears, and Kirby says, I told him don't doubt Jake Fromm. That was because of that throw. So very big moment for him. Scott Howard also gave a fantastic call on that. This is back when, they give you the play of the game and then they show you the local radio call. I'm going to miss Scott Howard, dude. I know that some people may have mixed feelings about him. Scott Howard was always great to me.
Not in our chat. Our chat loves Scott Howard.
Love Scott Howard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, Scott Howard call, fantastic. Those are my notes. Oh, final stat from this. Jake Fromm was never sacked in this game.
Huh.
That's ultimately why Georgia was able to win. I think third down conversions, the fact that Jake Fromm was never sacked, which plays into third down conversions, and the fact that Florida could not run the ball whatsoever.
That offensive line was ungodly.
Yeah, it was.
That offensive line was Andrew Thomas, Saul McKinley, Trey Hill, Ben Cleveland, and Warren McClendon.
No, this is Cade Mays is here.
Oh, yeah, Jamari Sawyer.
Isaiah Wilson, Jamari Sawyer. I'm trying to remember who was on.
There's about 8 pros.
Yeah, I mean it was still dudes.
And a flame out.
Yeah. Still dudes. I mean, it was a first round talent when he was before he was a flame out. So yeah, those are my notes from the Georgia versus Florida 2019 game.
We got Q&A, Kirby. It is Thursday during an off season. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. If you want to join in on the Q&A, head over to Discord, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. The link is in the description. First question, you know who it's from, Josh Armstrong. Actually, no, he was correcting me on another prospect in the chat. Realistic ceiling for Zayden Walker this year, Kirby. Now, Zayden Walker is all of the buzz because they tweeted out a photo of him at workouts the other day.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand why that was created. He looks.
And my man looks like a creative player.
He looks 25.
Yeah. He did, well, to be fair, he did in high school too.
Yeah, those people are just like, oh.
Zayden Walker looked like a futuristic creature on Schlatt County's high school football field.
He did.
Yeah. Especially when you go watch him practice. You're like, what is that?
That guy's a little.
That guy's a little
the
different.
Classic meme of like, can you spot the D1 athlete?
Yeah. I mean, definition, wife scout. It's that one.
Yeah. As far as realistic expectations for him goes, like
I'm thinking like Channing Tindall 2024.
I think that's a
or 2021.
Yeah.
22 he started, right?
Channing Tindall was gone after 21.
So he was always the third backer. All right, so that year, the Channing Tindall year this year, and then next year you're the guy. You're one of the guys.
Is he as fast as Channing Tindall though?
Oh, he's as gifted, if not more.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a 5-star in high school.
Because I think that was kind of what made Channing Tindall such a guy in that defense. It was like he was such a change of speed from, hey, here's Quay Walker and Kobe Dean, and then, oh, God, what is this?
This twitched up freak just got out here. What is this?
Like Zayden, and to answer that as well, Zayden Walker is going to be, I believe, a package specialist that's going to come in on third downs and get blitzes and things like that.
I also think, it's hard to cut you off, it just came to my mind. His usage went up dramatically when the knee injury happened to Williams from Auburn.
Maris Williams, yeah. No, yeah, it's a great point. I did a little bit of a different position, a little bit.
But the idea of twitch, third down, specific rush, we need someone to get home, his body, his name on that list vaulted up when Amaris got hurt.
What did you say, like 6 sacks is a fair expectation?
Too much. I'm thinking like 6 sacks is enough for like, I would be satisfied if Quintavious got 6 this year. I would put it at like 3.5 with like 35 total tackles.
Okay.
That's a great year too.
Yeah.
And all 3, maybe not even 3.5, 4 solo sacks. Like, I don't think Zayden's going to be a half sack guy. When he gets home, he going to
No,
get home
he's
now.
very much going to be, this is my sack, I got this.
Or lots of pressures and flushes too. But I don't even know if you can run away from this guy.
No, I don't think you can.
Apart from Trinidad. Trinidad's the only quarterback in this conference, maybe Mateer, that can run away from this kid.
Yeah, Arch couldn't.
No. No.
He didn't.
He didn't.
That's why I said he couldn't.
Boy. Yeah, great job there from the fish tank guy. No, I do not want a fish tank. You want a fish tank?
I'm good.
I'm good. Who are UGA's players who could possibly get home quick and sack the QB?
Zayden Walker.
Zayden? That was in the chat. Is Zayden one of them? He's gotten huge. Yes, Zayden is one of them. Elisha Griffin could enter this discussion this year.
I would say
Chris
so,
Cole is in this discussion.
Chris Cole is definitely in this discussion. Are you putting Gabe in this discussion?
No. Gabe and Quintavious run through people. They get home after first step hitches.
What about, this hasn't been done in a while, what about KJ? Now, they very rarely blitz from the free position.
The nickel and safety plugs, they don't do it as much anymore.
They might do it with Khalil Barnes.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Chase Linton.
Yeah.
Chase Linton's a great shot
I was
here.
going to say, this isn't a slight to the guy, but I don't think they saw Jonel Aguero as someone who we can nickel fire.
Well, what we thought of Jonel Aguero and apparently what they thought of Jonel Aguero were two totally different things. We found that
right.
out
Well,
this
that's why I'm saying it's probably why you haven't seen them as much, because the team didn't necessarily love the idea of Jonel Aguero and nickel firing.
Where does KJ Bolden need to improve? For me, it's one area. It's making plays on the ball in the air, impacting passing lanes, doing things like that. Because I don't question KJ's ability to tackle. I don't think he's ever fit a run improperly. Like, he is so clean and all that stuff and so confident despite the fact that he's 189 pounds, whatever he is. He's linear than most prospects, closer to Lewis Seen's body style than Javon Bullard's. I think everybody knows that. But no, more ball production. But maybe that's because they avoid him.
Yeah, I think that –
I got to go – you know what I don't do enough of?
What's that?
I don't do enough of just watching individual Georgia players. I watch a lot of Georgia snaps, and I feel like if you go back and just watch one player in particular, we find more of – obviously, you find much more of a holistic evaluation of that player as opposed to just the flashes that you see when he shows up as a team.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of what is missing from KJ. Like, KJ Bolden is – like, he's a first-round projection. He's one of the best safeties in the SEC right now in preseason. I think where KJ Bolden is set aside differently from guys like a Javon Bullard or a Malachi Starks or even a Chris Smith is when the opportunity to make the play was there. Those guys made it, and KJ has yet to take advantage of those opportunities. Like, the most infamous one is obviously the Alabama interception in the regular season. Like, that was a pick for KJ Bolden. Can't have those get away. He had a couple other moments like that where it's like the play is there for you to make, and it just you haven't risen to the occasion quite yet. That's not to say he can't. I think we all believe he will.
I knew the homie Josh Armstrong would show up in the comments in the Discord. He's got two questions for us. Who has more of a breakout season between Chris Cole and Justin Williams? Chris Cole, for me. I think by the end of the year, people are going to put Chris Cole into that. He's the next Micah Parsons, Sonny, who was my man this year out of there? Arvell Reese. He's this 3 years from now, he might have 12 sacks in the league guy. Like that's going to be Chris Cole this year.
What do you define as a breakout season? Like, from a national standpoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I think of who has a breakout season, I think of which one of these two football players is Pat McAfee going to be talking about.
That's
a guy that has
Chris
no real idea about teams, just doing the big names.
That's Chris Cole. But I was going to say, I feel like our network and the fan base, honestly, is already really high on Chris Cole.
Correct.
Like, the national scope is obviously like, you haven't heard of this guy because he's not making national, oh my God, plays yet. But from hey, this guy wasn't someone we had on our radar before. From the fan base standpoint, I think Justin Williams might be one. Because I think Justin Williams is going to impress a lot of people this year, whereas we're kind of already high on Chris Cole.
Whose job is Boogie Green taking?
I don't know.
I want to say the other safety spot. So you're looking at getting names like Zion Branch, names like Jamarly Riddle, obviously.
Does he take a spot or does he create a spot?
Yeah, is he the spot?
Because that's the question. That's kind of where Jalen, and we saw them do this now. They're willing to do it. The Jalen Walker thing was Jalen Walker didn't really take anyone's spot. Jalen Walker was just kind of like, this is me. I'm Jalen Walker. This is I'm playing this position for us.
I think that's a lot easier to do in the box.
For sure, definitely.
I mean, especially with the way that they play coverage in the back end. I think it's that other safety spot. I think they keep my man Barnes in there at the nickel, Khalil, and then they rotate that other safety spot until Tyreek's just the obvious one.
Yeah, I mean but when Kirby mentioned. It was after G-Day where it's like, we'll put him
figure it out.
We'll put him in a corner. We'll put where we need him to. It was like, really?
Wherever we're not good enough, he'll go there. Never, ever. I've never heard him say that about a player.
Much less a freshman.
Yeah. Malachi. He said that about Malachi.
That's fair.
That he could be our best corner. He would say things like that.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
But he's never said, we'll just wherever he needs to play. Yeah. Wherever we need him.
He'll fill the void.
The guy that was a 3-star till December? Yeah, that guy. 3-star you, though, Kirby. 3-star you. This one comes from Preston. He says, I know you love your offensive linemen. Who do you ultimately think will start across the line week 1?
I feel like we've done this.
Yeah, I would go.
It's been a while, though.
We'll go Ernest, Donnie, Drew, Juan. No. Juan's going to play right tackle. So who's the other guard? There's an older guard there. I haven't done lineups in forever. I'm not as sound on this roster off the top of my head. Yeah, Dontrell. No, I said Donnie at left guard.
So we're missing the tackle.
Yeah, the debate's whether or not Jaw Jackson's going to get the start at tackle or Juan Gaston's going to get the start at tackle. And if Jaw Jackson gets the start at tackle with Ernest Green, then Juan goes to guard. But if Juan starts at tackle, then Zakai Helton starts at guard. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the debate. Those 15 camp practices or however many, it's a month of camp practices. That'll determine who starts.
Is that going to determine what starts, or is
Zakai already beat him out in the spring?
Or the first 2 games going to determine who starts?
I mean, yeah. The first 2 games they're going to rotate. I think all year they rotate them anyways. I think all year you basically play 6 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
The question is who's going to be good enough to become the 7th?
Maybe even 7 if Jaw works out.
No, I counted him as the 6th.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the question about that. And finally, where would each of these lines rank among other Kirby Smart offensive lines? Too early to tell.
That's a hard one to tell. It's like none of those guys have like starts outside of Donnie and Juan.
Since it's question time, about as might as well spill the beans on up to something season. I'm good. I was told not to, so I'm not gonna. I'm disciplined. Where are some vulnerabilities on the defense, Kirby?
Some vulnerabilities on the defense, I would say explosives in the back end. I think not necessarily from a bust standpoint, from just we didn't cover well enough there.
There's the layup.
Vulnerabilities is
pass rush.
Yeah. That's certainly something that we hope has been addressed with the new coaching hire and some of the transfers. That's one of them. Youth along the box.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to realize how much it hurts to lose a guy like C.J. Allen playing your mic. You've also lost some pretty important defensive interior players. Kristen Miller was a big loss for you, guys like that. I think just an experience in what typically has been the hindrance of a Kirby Smart deficiency.
Chris Brown says, might be more of a segment, but what football terms should a ball knower understand and use on a regular basis? DDF&P.
I don't even know if
DDF&P, down distance formation and personnel.
Okay, yeah.
If you're watching a football game and you just start every play with paying attention to down distance formation and personnel, the down and distance, obviously, the formation, what is the offense and defense in, and the personnel packages with which they are in, I think you'll be able to collect a whole hell of a lot more information than you normally do. You'll at least be able to analyze what's happening at a higher rate. So there's that. And I think it will dimmer some of your irrational reactions, right? Like if the down and distance is 3rd and 18, buddy, there ain't many plays in the offensive playbook that we got. There's not. In fact, most of the plays that great coordinators call on 3rd and 18 are designed to get us into a punt formation without turning the ball over.
Yep.
To be honest with you. Just stuff like that. So yeah, DDF&P would be where I would start with any baseline guy guy or gal who's never watched football and doesn't know anything other than it looks fun on television and my friends like it. I would start with down distance formation and personnel. And personnel can be hard because figuring out why they count them the way that they count them, why is 11 personnel, is one back and one tight end. That kind of stuff can be a little bit difficult.
It's also hard to do from TV copies because it's like when you got all 22, you got the 10 seconds before the play snap. When you're watching the TV copy, it's, hey, here's the close-up of the coach, here's the quarterback, now here's 3 seconds. Like you don't have a lot of time to say, all right, where's the who's where.
That's a great point.
It's certainly something to familiarize yourself with. It makes you a better football watcher, but at the same point, it can be very daunting if you're not keen in on what they're doing.
If you could change one thing schematically on offense and defense that could help them get back to a natty, what would it be? I wouldn't touch nothing with that defense. I'm not smart enough to give them any suggestions.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be like, Kirby Kirby needs to do this.
You need to get back into more of a 4-3 base.
Hey, Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann. Here's what I think.
Here's an idea. Yeah, no, got nothing for him.
From an offensive standpoint, I'll give him this though. And another game I watched recently was the 2014 Auburn game. I didn't quiz you on that one because you wouldn't cover it, but running back screens.
Yeah, traditional running back screens.
And
sneaking them in between the offensive line,
yes.
a little dump off.
And I know, oh my God, screens, more screens from Mike Bobo. Running back screens, they ate with those with Nick Chubb in 2014. Yeah. Like stuff like that where, and you know, maybe we don't have personnel to do it right now. Maybe they don't trust the guys, Nate, Chauncey, all that, to run a running back screen. That's something that I feel like used to be utilized a lot in Georgia offenses under Mike Bobo and hasn't really been used as much.
I feel like Georgia, with Gunner as a starting quarterback, gets two types of defenses, either rush 3, drop 8, or cover 0, all-out blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Cover 0, all-out blitz, screens would work tremendously against.
Oh, my God,
Rush 3, drop 8's a dead zone. You can't do that.
No.
So, but I'm with you. I haven't seen him run a traditional running back screen in ages.
It's been a long time.
Could not even tell you when the last time he did it. Maybe Kenny McIntosh?
Maybe.
I
don't remember.
But I feel like that was Texas routes.
Yeah.
That was angle routes. We weren't doing traditional halfback dump offs.
That's the Texas routes where it's like, all right, we know what's coming. We're gonna let guys go block downfield.
Yeah.
No, they do not run traditional running back screens as much anymore.
I was thinking maybe like more design quarterback runs. Like get into much more of a bag there. I think there's a lot to be had. I think Gunnar Stockton would be an incredible quarterback counter read guy.
Yeah.
That's me. And you guys already run counter. Now, saying that, y'all tried to run jet counter read against Alabama, and he biffed the read. So maybe you just didn't go back to it because he didn't run it cleanly.
Yeah.
But it's in the install.
That's also
have it.
Games like that are also like, hey, this one didn't work. Maybe we'll come back to it later. Like if that didn't work, like out the playbook right now.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you take a -7 on it.
Yeah, games like that, you got to
the efficiency rates on that are in the pooper.
Yeah.
At that point,
we gotta reopen that come week 11 when we're playing the tomato cans.
We're gonna dust that one off against Western Kentucky. If you had 5 minutes to pick Kirby's brain, what would you ask him? What would you want to know? Ooh. I don't even know where I would start.
I would ask more like.
First off, I would want to ask him just in a mythical world, because this would be a mythical world. In a mythical world, in this situation, he would have watched and absorbed my content. And at that point, I would want to ask him, hey, how many times when I've been on the board have you thought to yourself, this guy doesn't know a damn thing about what he's talking about? Or do I know what I'm talking about? Because I've had these conversations with other head coaches, and they've affirmed my skill set. I've not gotten that affirmation from Kirby.
Right. I would ask like more life-based questions.
Yeah, I would get to that eventually.
Like, obviously, he's a wealth of football knowledge. I can't apply that stuff to like the nickel pressure on this, or we're running mint front.
Yeah,
and this
honestly,
is the different. Like, it wouldn't do me any good.
I'd probably ask him some type of time management question.
Stuff like that,
Yeah.
like life questions, I feel like would be much more beneficial to me. Like, yeah, obviously it would be so cool to just talk X's and O's with one of the greatest football minds our generation has seen. But at the same point, like, it's not going to do me a ton of good. It's also not like I can absorb that within 5 minutes to be like, I understand everything Coach Smart has told me now.
All right, my man wants me to go to the whiteboard for this next question, so let's do it for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he says, when is Kirby's next vacation? This is the first question.
It's actually funny you mentioned it. It'll be in late July, everyone.
Good to know. You've probably already told me that.
I actually haven't. Yet.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know. Go ahead. Vacation.
It'll only be one day.
All right. Good to know. But in all seriousness, what are some possible play designs out of 13 or 14 personnel that you would run if you had that tight end room at Georgia? Let's go to the board.
That's a fun one, actually.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm interested in this.
All right, so I don't do a lot of this, to be honest with you. I'm more of a respond to what coaches are actually doing guy than a guy who designs his own offenses. In fact, I've always said that I wouldn't even dare to be an offensive coordinator if I ever did this. Hell, if I actually went into coaching today, I would call Jackson County High School and ask if they need some offensive line help. That's what I would do. I'm not someone who thinks I can do this at an SEC level. That's for damn sure. But first and foremost, we're certainly going to start out in some type of bunch. We'll put one Y on the line. All right, we'll put an H behind him. And then I guess one of them's labeled as a slot. We're in 13 personnel at this point. We're going to put a Q and an R. That's 11 guys. I still got an X to play with, right, Kirby? Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so I still got an X to play with out here. All right, now, obviously, you would have to figure out what in the hell you're going to do up in that box with all them bodies. We're going to run the damn ball first. We're going to establish the run. All right, ideally, we have a guy over here that threatens people. All right, so if you dare to do one-on-one, no help with the safeties and run support. Oh, well, there we go. We got an explosive down the field. So we'll always play hot off this. We'll always give the quarterback an option here to play with freedom with our X out of this personnel. Obviously, we got all of our run fits here. We can do just about anything that we want. I would mix in a little wide zone with them too, because we're going to get them boxed up right here, guys. Maybe flip the back and run a little wide zone here. Or if we don't feel that way, we just talked about Florida 2020. We'll truck toss that sucker, okay? But here's what I would really do, okay? And here's where I'd really, really freak people out. Because one of these guys is Ethan Barbour, and one of these guys is Elias Williams, and one of these guys is Caden Prothro.
Or Lawson Lucky.
Or Lawson Lucky, but let's call it Prothro just for fun for what I'm about to do to you.
Okay.
What's he wear? He wears 80?
80.
All right. So after I run the piss out of the ball, okay, and after I one-on-one shot you when you figure out, okay, we've dedicated to the run, we stopped the run, now they've murdered me with my X outside in a one-on-one situation. Now I'm spreading it empty. Now I'm going to hop in. Yeah, I'm still in 13 personnel, and I'm going to spread out into empty and figure out what the hell you're about to do. Because are you going to go out there and play man-to-man coverage with number 80? Cool. I got a one-on-one out there. Oh, you want to play it in the slot with number 10? That's fine. Okay, over here is Ethan Barbour. And by the way, Ethan Barbour routes up as good as any wide receiver that Georgia has on the roster. If you don't believe me, go watch his high school stuff. Go watch his stuff as a true freshman. That guy can get loose. All right, so that's what I would do. I would freak them out with size, and then the moment they overcommitted themselves with size, I'd spread them out in the empty. Oh, by the way, if I'm in 13 personnel, they're probably in base, which means they don't have a nickel to go out there with that guy. That means a linebacker is going to be covering him, and a corner is going to be covering him. And over here, we might have a safety matched up, okay? So that's what I would do. I would freak them out with the mass in the box, and then knowing that my guys have skill sets to win in one-on-ones, I would jump them into empty out of nowhere and just watch their heads explode.
Nightmare scenario for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I would agree. What do you think takes the biggest, or who do you think takes the biggest leap from year one to year two? I'm going to hope it's Donnie Glover or Juan Gaston.
Yeah, I mean, so year one would be like, we're talking freshman to sophomore.
Yeah, we're talking about true sophomores this year.
Give me Elias Williams.
That's a good one. That's a good one. He might be the best tight end in college football.
Are we counting Ellis?
No.
Okay.
Ellis is a year three player. Who's the most impactful returning offense and defensive player excluding quarterback? Chris Cole and Drew Bobo.
Agreed.
Which press box has the best food or amenities? This is a you question. Is it Tennessee?
Tennessee has some really good. Texas was nice.
Really?
Texas, it was just crowded when I was there because it was number one Texas versus Georgia. It was a game you don't really see much. Texas, this wasn't a Georgia game, but Texas A&M's might be the best.
Yeah.
Texas A&M's was fantastic. They had really good food.
Brand new too, isn't it?
It's newer. It's definitely new. Fantastic. Had food throughout the entire game. And you could just go up and like, oh, timeout. I'm gonna go grab a bite real quick. They had like these breakfast burritos because it was an early kickoff. So yeah, Texas A&M takes the cake for me. What's that?
Oh, I see what he's saying. Will labor and delivery have enough gowns that will fit Jay Will? Or will they have to just wrap him in downy paper towels from the shins down? This is a hospital joke about how tall Jay Will is.
Ah. I get it now. Well, the baby's already been delivered, guys.
Yeah. Baby's safe in their home. Healthy. Who are the equivalent Big Ten rivals of the top SEC teams? I didn't quite get this one from Jamil.
Equivalent big. So, like, if.
So, like, we'll put, like Georgia is to Ohio State as Alabama is to Michigan. Is that what we're doing here?
Maybe. I don't know. That's a confusing one.
I didn't do well enough on the ACT to get that one.
Sorry, guys.
Do you think Georgia will ever go all in on elite wide receiver based off the GOATS film study and how Branch helped the offense roll? So basically this question is, when you see how well offenses do with elite wide receivers, when do you think Georgia will get one? Or do you think they'll ever go all in on one?
Unfortunately, the cash it requires to get these elite wide receivers nowadays, I don't think so.
Also, I think they recruited Jeremiah Smith out of high school.
They did.
And if you're not going to go all in on that one, you're just never going to go all in.
Well, it's also like...
Because to me, Jeremiah Smith, it was the safest. That guy's going to be great. High school eval, we've had a wide receiver in 10 years.
But not only that, like the offense doesn't really run through the wide receivers. I know Zachariah Branch ran through Zachariah Branch, but Zachariah Branch is not someone I would consider a perimeter wide receiver. That was a slot option that was like, hey, let's get this guy the ball now as many times as we can. That was more of a, hey, he's our best ball carrier. Let's get him the ball in space as many times as we can. So I don't think they will.
What player over the next 4 years will be the most impactful for UGA?
Over the next
Jaden
Wade.
And
it's solely whether or not he comes.
Jaden Wade. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. By the way, we have 2 interns. I'm talking about going to war, Kirby. These 2 boys are going to war right now. Shout out Luke. Shout out Matthew. You boys are working hard, doing quality work. And I'll talk to you right as I end this because I got videos I got to watch. Appreciate you guys. Good work. See y'all when I see you. I'm on vacation this weekend. I'm not going to be working. So if anything breaking happens, you're going to have to do it on your laptop.
That's fine.
Okay. We'll see you next time.